There we go. We're a little bit behind this morning, but not too big a deal. Streaming from Megan's office today. Alright, bring to light taken. Makes sense. This mono black aggro. I'd love to draw a red source here. Even a Fabled Passage would be pretty good. Yep, it is mono black aggro. So yeah, landing a Clothis would be great, so we'll just get this Fabled Passage down to start this out soon. Oh. Okay. Oh, I've been running a little bit behind today. That's alright. Just fire a Mutavault. Makes me think there's like a turn 4 Rankle coming. Like, Rankle's pretty annoying. We're kind of insulated against a single Rankle hit. I'm not too worried about that. I do want to do that, though. I want to do this next turn. Let's get Clothis down. Do this. I can exile a land to get a plains to play Omnath. Just save a little life against aggro by getting our tap land in. Zelda's hanging out with me over here. Card order. I'll deal with you later, friend. Thoughtseize for Omnath? Sure. I think I'd rather get Clothis down. I mean, Omnath's great, but there's a fair amount of removal for Omnath. I have 2 answers to any big creatures they play. And again, we're at the borderline now where we have... I guess we also have a Plains already, because this is Abzan. So, let's rock this out. Our Thoughtseizes are so beautiful. Opponent's got that nice style. We've caught up on time, which is nice. There goes Omnath. Okay, Locthwain's bad for us, but that's fine. Knight's alright. Mutavault, take 2. It's fine. Fabled Passage, not ideal, but now we have our 5 colors, because this can go get an island. We'll just pass. See what's cooking. Like, this will undo those Mutavaults, and they've already taken a fair amount of damage, so this will just undo some of their aggression. We just need to find a threat. Red, white, blue, green, black. So if we find another Bring to Light, a Niv Miz, Teferi's less what we want. I'm actually going to throw this list in Stream Deck real quick, but while we have a second. Oop, that's modern. Alright, Punch is firing at Mutavault. That's fine. Don't really care about taking 3 here. If they had pumped, I'd care more, but yeah, Sorin. So they're vampires. Alright, fair. Yeah, we're gonna answer this champion. They'll draw 2. Alright, we're really just flooding here, but that's okay. So, really would rather kill Soren, but we just don't have a better answer here. Alright, we're just on top deck mode. Bring to light and Omnath being taken was kind of rough, but not the end of the world. A Niv off the top, even a Teferi off the top would be very strong. So we have Bring to Light, Niv. We even have Tybalt as a good draw here. Yeah. Oh, morning, Kevin. Sorry, I was just throwing that in there. A little bit behind this morning. Should be up in just a second. Ooh, we are still flooding. But Mutavault's never actually, I mean, it will race us because of how good Soren is, but at least we'll be surviving long enough to add his current. There we go. Should be in Stream Decker now. Oh, just got the easy round one by Kevin. Love to see it. It's fine. We're against vampires. We're not timing out. Opponent down to 6. That's something, alright. Although the lifelink part of this is gonna make this is such a beating. I think Knight would have gotten us dead too quickly, but still. Scary, scary, scary card, Soren. Do you want in modern? Nice. What are you playing in modern, Kevin? Playing Blitz? Yeah, Blitz seems good. Oh, the new 3-drop. I just saw this card in draft yesterday. So it is a vampire. Draw one, lose one, sure. Make a past or exile player's graveyard. That's actually kind of neat. That's a good versatile card. Plus being a vampire, solid. Alright, we're gonna take 4. We're gonna go to 9. We're still in a reasonable spot if we can find a Niv or a Bring to Light, or even just a Valky, because we can just cast Valky as is. There we go. Perfection. Four, 5. I think I'm gonna play this Plains first. Green. Get some Niv in here. I definitely want Dreadbore. Okay, Abrupt Decay, Yasharn, Bring to Light, Dreadbore, all absolute gassers. This has to hit a non-land, so we're just gonna hit Soren now. Just hit Soren now. Don't let him get another untap with it. I probably have another Soren, but again, that's 3 mana they have to invest into it, and this is only a 5. If they kill Niv, we have a Bring to Light. Just the mono black Knight of Autumn, basically. That's a good way to look at it. Honestly, so 3/2, the gains a life is kind of nice. Actually, I think this card is interesting. I don't know how interesting, because I was in green black and I didn't take it in draft, so I don't know how highly I can speak of it. But alright, opponent's at 7, we're at 14. Alright, they're gonna go to 5. Play this, hit us for quite a bit. So hit us for 6 down to 8. Ooh, Valky's not a bad draw. Put them down to 3. If we had a lightning bolt, we have a Kolaghan's command, so it's close, but not quite. I think we just could Shadow's Verdict here pretty reasonably. Just Shadow Verdict, put them to 1 next turn. 1, 2, 3. Alright, I like that. Could also just get Tybalt and exile there. I think I might like that better. Just get Tybalt and exile there, Murderous Rider. Ooh, or we could just Toll Smear. I like putting 2 bodies in play, actually. Yeah, Toll Smear Volky. We'll give him the 2 life back. It's fine. And cast this to take another Swift End from their hand if they have it, or a Rankle or anything big. Yep, another Swift End. Perfect. Alright. So we know their hand is 3 lands. We have 3 creatures. We're going to drain them for 2. And they're at 5, so they can't even draw with Locthwain. I mean, they can, but going to 1 here seems bad on upkeep. I liked our decision making there. There was a lot of good things to get with Bring to Light, but I think killing the Swift End to stop potential future life gain, adding 2 threats, and then taking the other Swift End was a good call. Alright, what did they draw? Okay. So they kill our Valky, that's fine. Play Swamp. So they can Murderous Rider and stand this up, so don't want to do that. So we'll just play Yasharn. 2, 3, 4. Shouldn't have tapped my red source, but we're not dreadboarding on this board. This creature can sit here forever. Play this. We could draw a Caryatid, which I would be fine to play here. Bring to Light's good. Alright, so we know they have Swift End. Nope, no attacks. Swift End and 2 lands. If they Swift End, they get a 1 and then die on upkeep, so they kind of can't do anything about it. Feeling good about this game. Managed to sort of drag it back. Vampires didn't have as fast a start as normal mono black aggro, and so their disruption package was a little slow. Okay, we pulled that one back. Not bad at all. Let me open up a little notepad for later. I don't even know how many people are in this. I assume it's 7 rounds, but all right. So against vampires, this is our new list. A couple of changes from the last time we played. Took these UCDs from Kane's deck. Those were really impressive. Excuse me. Add an extra veto, cut a Croxa, and added a Shadow's Verdict as well, cutting the Notion Thief. Big Teferi is the big addition main, as well as a second Valky in place of one of the Kolaghan's commands, and the... I don't remember what the Teferi came in over, but for the list. So, since they're actual vampires, Definitely want the fatal pushes for the mutavaults. Definitely want the shadows verdicts. Probably want the ECDs. Veto, we're not gonna, that's fine. They can just veto. Oh, it's the Thoughtseizes from the board as well. Don't need D-Spark. Crocs is probably pretty good. I don't think they have a lot of answers to our graveyard. And they're not going to keep in things like Fatal Push. Knight of Autumn's pretty medium. Dreadbore, we're going to probably trim one, just because, again, having the Fatal Pushes is just stronger. Slaughter Games can come out pretty reliably here. Definitely like this. Extinction Event, Verdict, Tolsmere. Teferi's on the line. Yasharn also not great. Probably Yasharn comes out. Maybe the ECDs are just unnecessary. Like we already have these answers to Sorin, but I guess they do have like the 5 drops and things. Yeah, they definitely do have like the 5 drops and things. So I think I might trim the decays. Fairy just wins the game by itself over time, so I do kind of want that. We have plenty of removal. We just want all of our top end because this game's going to go late. Here is fine. Kolaghan's Command's fine. I think we're going to trim decays and let push take that place. And we are going to trim Teferi. As much as I love Teferi, I think we have enough card advantage. I hope Moto registered this as we hit submit with 1 second left. Check. It did. Nice, nice. Okay. This hand is unstoppable if we get this character to play. And if not, then we're gonna be sad. But just sort of need some number of lands. Yeah, it has application. I just don't think it's a wide enough application. Ugh, this is such an awkward board because Caryatid can't even get a block in. Really need to find a land, huh? Missing on our first 2 draws with 5 drops is pretty rough. We draw 2 lands, we're in great shape. Highbucks and a self-inflicted wound. I mean, yeah, that would also end the game pretty quick, but that's okay. This game has very quickly devolved into a point where like we're just going to take a ton of damage and hope to draw land, and if we don't, we might still just die. It's going to be 6, 7. So if they pump 6, 7's 13. Okay, so we're going to take 6, 7, go to 6. We need to draw land here. Like we could just draw like a fatal push or something to like stabilize, but all right, land number 1, and it comes in taps, so we're happy with that. We need a Fabled Passage, a basic, any check land in our deck, all work beautifully here. And then we just drop like a probably just a Niv. Card Hoarder, stop. For some reason it's not taking my modern cards back, so now we're just in the endless loop of them being like, where are my cards? And I'm like, they're right here. And they're like, where are my cards? Like, please take them. Yeah, no blocks. It's not a good plan, but we have a plan, right? We're going to go to 7. Or sorry, we're going to take 7. Go to 6. Hope to draw some lands here. So if we draw a land, this will be... Ooh, they're not pumping. Okay, I like that. Go to 9. Deal. Thoughtseize me. Thoughtseize me. Come on, do it. If they don't Well, I guess it will still get the counter. So Tolsimir here would still kill the Gifted Aetherborn, leave a 3/3 back, which is fine. Ghost Sorin, they would have played it pre-combat. Because they just put the counter on the knight anyway, and then I can't block, so it's effectively the same difference. What do they have? Maybe it's like the thought. I have to imagine it's like a hand disruption spell, right? You would play Sorin pre-combat. It could be that 2/1, but that's like not a meaningful addition to this board. Like you're already way ahead. Why add more to it? Knowing that I have to play a Wrath essentially. Like if we land Shadow's Verdict, then we just have to hope that their 4 to 5 cards in hand are worse than our. I mean, we know they're worse than our cards. It's just that our cards aren't castable, right? Okay, Davril, sure. We'll get rid of a Niv since we want something in the yard to bring back with ECD at a point anyway. Another knight. Okay, well this Shadow's Verdict will take the Davril as well, so we just need to hit a land that comes in untapped. Oh, and we have a basic swamp. Okay. Do we die? Yeah, for intents and purposes, we die. It's unfortunate. Oh, we were so close. Alright. So we know they're going to bring in Davril, which is fine. Really don't care about that at all. Maybe the ECDs are too clunky. I would believe it. Just bring in Yasharn and Teferi is a less clunky answer. Could also just be like bring in more Abrupt Decays instead of Teferi. Though Verdict does make me not want to play Croxa very much, because we're definitely playing a Verdict when we can. We know they have 2 walkers, a couple of Thoughtseizes. Don't really think we need Veto. They want push, definitely want decay. Good board is probably fine. It is probably just this. Alright. That's fine. The ECDs looked a little too clunky in this matchup. Yeah, if we didn't have exactly basic swamp, we get to play Omnath, hit the fetch, and then bring to light for the Shadow's Verdict. It would have actually been perfection, but alas, basic swamp will get you. Alright, game 3. This hand's amazing. We have Caryatid, we have removal, we have lands, we got Big Tef. What more can you ask for? This is Teamer, so we'll play this so we can get the Glacial in to get Caryatid down. Even if they Thoughtseize us, we have like enough interaction to not care if they take the Caryatid this time, which is nice. Bring to Light's great. We just need 1 land, but we have actual disruption to make it work. What do we got cooking? Aetherborn? Sure. Caryatid's a great draw. Now we're just gonna Fatal Push this. I'm gonna leave it in play though. I'd even take a hit from it, truth be told, just because I want to see it. Well, once we go to combat, I'll kill it. Whoop, don't do that. That would have been a disaster. In case they had a Sorin. I don't really want. I want to bait them into firing that off. So like either one of these cards should be backbreaking. If they play Davril, yeah, you can take either one. Bring to Light's the better card here because it's like a draw 3 instead of a draw 1. But I don't know how many answers to Teferi they have other than Swift End. And so if they don't have exactly Swift End right now, Teferi is going to take over. But them taking the Bring to Light's a little rough. Yeah. All right, that's fine. Ooh. All right, we're still going to play this Teferi mostly on the basis that they know about it, and we want to protect this Omnath because it's a recursive engine as well. Okay, Kolagun's command's a nice one. Again, if they have the Swift End, it's fine. We have Omnath into Kolagon's command. Just try and grind them out here. If they don't have Swift End, they're in real trouble. Like, this Teferi is just going to take over. If this is all they're doing, then I'm feeling very good. Teferi can go to 3. Yeah, this game feels over. Even if they play 2-drop, don't care. Alright, white, green, blue, red. Little Omnath action cooking. Well, what are lands and where can we find them? But it's alright. We're gonna untap these. We have a Decay, a Kolagon's command. We're gonna block the Mutavault, Decay the Gifted Aetherborn, and then just start slamming big drops. And we're feeling pretty good. Yeah, Agonizing Remorse is just like a little too slow. Champion, sure. So with Champion Trigger on the stack, we're gonna kill the Aetherborn. So it's just a 5-mana draw 1. Okay, draw. There we go. At least hit something for Omnath. Blue, white, black, red, green. Get Niv down. Get another Bring to Light and a Tolsmere. We'll get in there. If they want to trade, that's fine. If they don't, yeah. Again, we're winning on board by so much, we just want to trade resources as effectively as possible. Yeah, they've thought better of it. We have Kolagon's command up. Kill the Mutavault, which is nice. Doing pretty good here. Feeling pretty happy about where our spot. Again, Teferi looking great. Very nice addition to the deck. Happy about this one. Sad I didn't stick to my guns and play 2, but I really couldn't find any more slots. This deck is so hungry for slots. Like, I understand why people play the Orion version. Like, I feel like you could get 80 incredibly high quality cards in this deck and not have a problem. So, like, that might be the next place I look if I'm looking to expand on some of these cards. Alright. We're 1-0. Let me check how many rounds this is. 71 players, so it is going to be 7 rounds. Glad to see it keeps... Well, they upped the minimum on the Pioneer Challenge to 64, but also upped the prizes to match Modern. So now a top 32 is a rebuy, and basically playing them is a free 150 play points. Not free, right? It's a rebuy, or half a rebuy is free, and then finishing in the top half of the event is a rebuy with chests, and then it scales from there. But glad to see they're firing at least. Good. Pioneer's been sweet lately. Fan of it. No, Kenny lost round 1. Damn. You hate to see it. Who else do we got in here? Looks like Kane didn't make it in. Sad. Wonder what he's up to. Alright, I'm gonna throw on some Oblivion music real quick and fix myself some breakfast, because like I said, I was way behind this morning, just full on scatter. I'm gonna throw some Oblivion on. We'll be back for round 2. Might be back a few minutes early, but either way, we'll be back for round 2. Thanks everybody for hanging out so early in the morning. And here's Oblivion. I'll be right back. just gonna go off cam and mic for a minute while I snark down some oatmeal, but leave the round timer cooking and I'll throw the deck list up in a minute too. Alright. 2 matches left. I'm actually back now, fully. I'm gonna throw this can back on. There we go. Delicious oatmeal. Breakfast of champions. Alright. Deck feels great. Deck felt great every time I played it. Really did feel like a lot of my losses just came down to me. So, best thing you can hope for is a deck with a lot of agency, right? How well we're playing today is the deciding factor. Big fan of that. The difference in both my chair and the background, streaming in Megan's office today, is in the other room using it today, so figured I'd come in here, enjoy her office for the day, which means we have Ethernet connection, so hopefully we should be pretty stable. Pause the Oblivion. So 1 match left. We are going to play some Oblivion between rounds, so that'll be good. Not going to do any sort of magic between rounds as far as double queuing goes. That really bit us in that prelim the other day. So gonna play some Oblivion. Might play some Hades. But I know the Oblivion stream will be a nice little between rounder. Only one match left. A lot of good grinder matchups. Let's see. Botswana beat Calfuit. Falcon lost. Lackey lost. Let's see. Dreams won. Sad Kenny lost. Kevin with the round one bye, as you do, while also playing Modern. Lapshawn lost. Andy Leclerc won. Lord Beerus lost. Osmandius won. Snapcaster Bolt lost. Venom won. A lot of strong players. Though I will say some of the strongest players for Pioneer obviously are busy today with the showcase. I know Devin's in there, Claudau's in there, quite a lot of strong players. Let me see if I can peek in at it, see how people are doing. That's a bold strategy. Double queuing the challenge and the showcase, Osmandius. Medev, very good. Very good player. Standerson. Mogged. Devin. L1XO, Bolt the Birds, Cell. Claudau. Slaterade snuck in is the last one. 24 person. Huge prizes too. Just minimum playing these. Being in these is just a top 32 for us. Just showing up is like a top 32 plus an avatar. I'd love to see it. Excited to see Carl. Been playing a lot of limited. Excited to see how he'll do in his showcase. Bailey, of course, in the Legacy showcase. That'll be very fun to see. Ooh, just actual 1-0 go into time. Feels like it's probably a 4 or 5 color mirror. Or just a blue-black mirror, right? That could also be, but sometimes these mirrors are rough, as you saw if you were watching the prelim we had the other day. Sometimes these mirrors get a little rough. Excuse me, I had to cough real quick. Oh, only one match left, but we're over the 50-minute mark. Let's see, what's the max time? Like, I mean, I guess just with the way the pass priority works, sometimes it'll eat more seconds in real life than off the clocks. But so assuming you get the full 50 minutes plus 3 minutes to sideboard each game, plus a little bit here or there, you could hit an hour. Could hit a full hour. I think I've seen it hit an hour once or twice. Some of those very slow control mirror matchups. Thanks everybody's following and hanging out. Be sure to hit that follow button if you want to catch more content. I know, I'm sure people came from both follows and Twitters since it is a little early in the morning, at least for me anyway. But always appreciate it for sure. Looking to stream today, next week, probably going to stream Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and one of the challenge days. Starting to feel like that's going to be my routine for schedule streams, but obviously I'll be tweeting it out as things go on. If you're looking for some other high quality streamers to look at, these are some of my good friends, well trusted people They play mostly Magic. Zemu plays a lot of other games as well, does some speedrunning. Um, Incrediquade, very, very good humans player for sure. Both Legacy, Modern, absolutely one of the foremost experts in it. And like I said, Bailey, BCS will be playing in the Legacy Showcase, as well as just regularly playing a lot of good Modern Legacy and even a little bit of Standard from time to time, including the top 8 of the Standard Challenge last weekend. Or it might have been yesterday even. So yeah, give them a check out. Definitely give them some love if you haven't already gone over there. But they'll be hopefully filling the gaps between days I'm not streaming. I know I usually hang out with them while they stream, so definitely love their content. And if you enjoy my content, I'm sure you will enjoy theirs as well. Truly the worst timeline is they go to game 3 here in 54 minutes. 2 5-color decks, just like play a Triome and then right out of time. Yeah, I have to assume they're 4 or 5-color decks, plus maybe blue-black control mirror, but blue-black control's really been dying out. Really has been. I know blue-black was split the finals of the Pioneer Challenge yesterday, but Harry's a very good player, and I wouldn't put it past him to outperform where I think blue-black is. I don't think the other deck got posted. What split with Harry? I'm trying to remember if it did, but I don't think it did. Or Harry might have been the 10-1, and the other player was the blue-black player. Can't remember. We are going deep on this round. Could have gotten like 10 minutes of Oblivion in, but I thought we were turning the round over. You hate to see it. I mean, at this rate, we could probably get a couple minutes of Oblivion in, because I think now that I said I've only seen 60 minutes a couple times, we're just headed right for it. Just called shot. We're still in game 2 here, so could just go on forever. That is one of the things that I think is a little bit worrying about these like greed pile decks, is like if we ever get to play like Pioneer PTQs in paper or anything like that, like it's going to take forever in the untimed rounds. Like these, I mean, I guess paper is a lot faster generally. Like a lot of the actions you have to take online are a little slower, but these decks can go forever, man. Especially if you start porting them into like the Yorian versions, where like decking isn't even a concern for the most part. Those like 5-color agent decks and the Yorian decks, like these piles are gonna go for a while. I don't envy having an 80-card Yorian mirror in top 8s of like your local FNM PPTQ or whatever the OP will look like when we get back to paper. Those are the days of like blue-white control mirrors, no win condition to fairy only. Just like, all right, everybody got an energy drink. Everybody got a week's ration of food. Sit down. Let's go. Oh, yes. Oh, every week. What up, James? Nice to see you this morning. Yeah, Cedar just always blue-white. Always, always, always. I played a lot of that deck too, to be fair. It was very strong. Love me a good Teferi emblem, but luckily there weren't too many mirrors to be had. And sort of just daggers all around. Love to see it. Kane didn't make it to this one. I thought Kane would be in this for sure with how much Pioneer he's been playing lately, but I saw he went 1-2 yesterday, so I don't know if he wasn't feeling it this morning. Always the last match to finish. That's okay. We have a couple people. Zemu, who I linked earlier, also is often a last one finished. Yeah, the more I'm playing these events, the more I'm just like hard committed that duo queuing is just wrong. A wrong idea. Like some people can do it, like Kevin can do it. Ooh, you hate to play against Living End. That's a rough one for you, Kevin. Like, some people do it well and they get used to it, like, Yama's really good at it, Kevin does it all the time, but, like, I just can't. My brain doesn't work that way. It used to, when I would play Moto every day, but I'm so far off that grind now. I just need to, like, sit down, take a sip of water, take 5 minutes, and alright, good, we'll actually play. What are you playing in the Legacy Challenge? That's usually a Bailey question, truth be told, but, it is Boomer Energy. Well, the thing was, when I wasn't a Boomer, Baden, I played so much Magic so fast it was obscene, and now I'm just old. Yeah, like I'd go something like Delver. Delver's always good, right? All I hear is Delver's good. Doesn't have Ancient Tomb, I'm not interested. James, we gotta get you hooked up with Kenny. Kenny is a Ancient Tomb gamer. Kenny is one of my absolute biggest brain Legacy players that I've ever met, and all he wants to do is put an Ancient Tomb into play. Give me an Ancient Tomb and a Chalice, and that man can, like, murder people. It's truly beautiful to watch. Kenny's in this event, too. I saw he lost round 1, unfortunately, but it's definitely sad. Here we did it. The called shot happened. We hit the hour. Painter when top was legal? That sounds like a good time. Who else we know in this event? I mean, there's a ton of grinders, right? As far as, like, people I know personally, there's only a couple. Ton of names that we run into often on Moto and things, but, like, we have Kenny, we have you. Again, a couple people I've, like, tangentially met, but as far as, like, friends go, we got you and Kenny. Kane skipped this one. Devin's in the showcase. Osmandius is in this and the showcase, which, like, talking about, yeah, Kenny's in this one. Right here. Lost a close one. Ooh, 1-game-1, lost the board games. It can't be luck every time, right? I mean, Botswana could definitely be very lucky, but it can't be luck every time, right? Right? Maybe. I mean, I have played against Botswana a few times, but oh, are we going to a game 3 at least? No, we're just still hovering game 2. Just, I know. Ugh, luckiest player ever. Love a good Moto memes. We had a. I wish we could copy paste it. We had a great salting off happen to one of our friends, but it was like 2,000 characters. It was insanity. He didn't even respond to like the 1,000th character. It was beautiful. We have it pinned in the Discord somewhere, but if it was more manageable to put into Twitch chat, I would absolutely have put that as a copy paste at some point. Just let the time run. Ooh, already on the warnings, Kevin? Yeah, hate to see that. I like to think of Moto as like a solitary experience. I will not interact with my opponent unless they interact with me. You want anything? Got gotta get a snack. 2 warnings this month? Kevin, disable chat. This isn't League of Legends. Put the toxicity away. Come on. Come on, Kevin. Be better than that. Like I said, just Moto's a solitary experience. If your opponent wants to say something to you, you can say something back. But otherwise, keep it off. Like my last opponent was great. Chatted for a minute, complimented my name. Nice person. We threw him a GG's. Like they were chill that I was running a little late this morning, but don't be a salt lord on Moto. We don't need any of that. Yeah, League is giga salty. If you're playing League with people you don't know, it's just like doubles up. Luckiest guy in the world. What your secret was? That's when you just tell them that you wished to be better than they were, and I guess it paid off. Like I'm not gonna lie. If people get salty with me, I destroy them in chat. But I never start the fight. I just end it. Go to church and drink blood. Okay, well, that might be Moto being a little bit overcorrective on that one. I mean, can't we just have some vampire gamers in the chat? Come on. That's a bold one though. I like that. I like running that line, Kevin. How'd you get so lucky? I go to church and drink blood. Great. Thanks. Thanks. I hate it. Okay, how far into this are we going? Yeah, just block chat. Like, I like to have access to chat because when people salt off, I like to really just like let them know that they're in the wrong about it. But otherwise, I just don't. Yeah, it's like you're gonna time out in 3 matches if you get in a sparring fight with anybody. Yeah, I miss playing League. I feel like I dream of picking it up every time I watch playoffs. Hoping for Niv this round. What on earth are you playing? Are you playing like the new red white prowess stick? I said it in Discord, I'll say it again. I think these greed piles actually destroy the burn deck now that you're just running like 3 Knight of Autumns. So the only card you ever cared about, excuse me, red white heroic? Okay, yeah. I know. FPX won game 1, and I was like, oh, Nuggery's gonna pop off. And then bot lane, RNG just absolutely smurfed. I'm so excited for MSI. So excited. I think Matt is gonna look so good. I want to see how Yoyo looks on the big stage. Armut, I'm so excited. He did so well at Worlds last year. I want to see how it translates to MSI. I mean, Cloud9, I'm always going to be excited to see Perks on an international stage. Like, I don't have that much hope for Cloud9 comparatively, but Perks buff is real. Just give me the Perks buff when we're in. I mean, Dom1's a monster. RNG's a monster. I want to see them fight. So it's 25 minutes each, but your clock isn't always reflective of like real time. There's like a couple seconds of lag periodically where it can go over, and then you have 3 minutes for sideboard. So like they're in game 2, so they probably took the full 50 minutes plus 3 for sideboard plus I don't know how we got to an hour and 6 here though. This is a lot. G2 actually didn't look that good this year. I love Reckless. I love everyone on that team. I just don't think they actually gelled very well. Especially as the meta got later. They just couldn't play the style they wanted. Like, they got kind of top gapped by Elyoya and Armut. And, like, I love Wonder, but he needs to find himself a little in summer. Caps is Caps. He always looks good. Reckless is always good. You know, Mickey's always good. Yankos kind of got gaps too. Yeah, I think it's gonna just be Dom1. Like RNG looks really good. I really want to see. I want to see Dom1 match up against Yahoo in the top lane, but I think it's just gonna be Dom1. I would be surprised if Dom1 doesn't just like run it through. Okay. Whew. Hour and 8 minute round 1. Finally turning it over. Let's go. Could have gotten so much Oblivion in if we knew they were gonna go that long. I gotta know who won that match though. It was between. Where was it? Ah, here we go. 0-2 closed it out. 1 in 1 minute. What the? I'm guessing they just like timed out into game 2. That or Moto got weird. Twitter, I'm sure Twitter will let us know if something weird happened, but an hour and 10-minute round 1. Pioneer, what are you doing to people? Alright, so 71 players, we got 7 rounds. They this with this last update, they upped the prizes to match modern. So top 32 is 5 chests and a rebuy. So usually that's a 4-3 is a lock for 32. So obviously we're not thinking about that right now, but just putting it into context, probably about a 4-3 puts you in a great shape. 3-4 should prize. To put into context, like these Pioneer ones are pretty nicely scaled for the size and the prizes now with the new upgrade, which is great. We got round 2 cooking. We're playing Niv Delight. Those of you who haven't been watching any of the prelims we played, updated the list a little bit. Should be in Stream Decker right now. Updated that between rounds, and looks like we're heading into round 2 now. Let's see what we got cooking. Up against. Oh, we're playing against the person who played against Kenny. Yeah, blue black is. I like blue black a lot. I think it's a very fun deck. But yeah, I absolutely think playing it in paper is a lot more fun. I don't mind it online, but it does get real grindy. Oh, we're against a Yorion deck for sure. Just we got the hot tip, the 80 card deck over here. All right, looks like they were on 4C Transmogrify. I think this is a reasonable matchup. Like, it's close. Can't turn down perfect mana in a Yorion matchup. The thing with Transmogrified X is some players have started adding more threats, and that's scary, but the versions that only run like 2 agents are less scary. Never get to play it. I hate to see that. That's just the worst case scenario. Probably gonna hold this Triumph to cycle. We're a little flooded, but with Bring to Light and a removal spell, we're not in the worst of shapes. Asmina, huh? Ooh. Scry 1, puts on top. That's not great for us, but the fact that we can Shadow's Verdict it does make me want to consider not Dreadboring, but I don't want them scrying every turn, truth be told. We're just Triome gamers. We're truly embracing our Bailey here. Just Bailey is a master of the Triomes. We are now a Triome gamer. Fires. Alright. Well, we have Knights. Alright, yeah. They're down to 3 cards, but they can put Yorion in hand. That's, never great for us. I'm just going to cast Valky, see if we can't spike something from their hand. We have Bring to Light next turn. Yikes. We're just going to get Transmogrified out, huh? Alright, well, we didn't hit any ramp spells this game, and I think we're much heavier favorite post board now with these Elspeth Conquered Deaths, the Vetoes, D-Sparks, Return. I like where we are post board, even if game 1 doesn't go well. I feel like we can grind out these matchups, but the turn 4 Transmogrify is where you just start to get rolled, unfortunately. Alright, we'll take 4. Yeah, I assume they know what they're doing. So what they're gonna do here is make another token. Probably put your into hand. Play Transmogrify, get an agent, steal a land, and then play land, play Yorion, and just blink it. Again, I guess that assumes they drew a land, right? If they don't have a land, they can't do that, but yeah, definitely gonna Transmogrify here. Agent. Steals the land, sure, I'll tap it for posterity. You know they have Verdict chained to the rocks. That gives them their 5th land. Alright. Narset's good enough. They're playing a pretty stock build, it looks like, from what we saw with the addition of Kasmina. 8,000 points. Bailey, no. Bailey coming in too strong. I think between you and Hurt, you've like solo got this funded. Neil's also helped a lot too, to be fair. I want to discredit Neil. Bring in all these. Shadow's Verdict is not really what we want. I mean, it does clean up the tokens a little bit, but the tokens are less of our concern. Same with Decay. Slaughter Games is good. Utter End's good. Sharn definitely comes out. Tolsmere definitely comes out. Got a Dreadbore. Really, we just want our high-end cards and some counter spells here. Slaughter Games is fine. Getting like Agent is like pretty big game. Nahiri's pretty good as well. Might just be these Dreadbores. Like use the Elspeth Conqueror's Death to answer the things we actually need to answer. Though they do have Narsets. Maybe we keep these in for Narset. Taking out their hand is so good though. Got Niv and he just blew you out. Like I said, Shadow's Verdict's a real card. I think people underestimate how good these Niv decks are against the aggro decks. I think the decks that you're scared of as Niv are actually the greedier piles. Like, Kane's deck is much scarier to me than an aggro deck. I would much rather play an aggro deck than play against somebody who has, like, Alron's Epiphany in their deck. I'm gonna keep Croxa, get rid of these Dreadbores. I'm gonna trim Knight down. I don't think we care as much about fires as otherwise would. Slaughter Games, I think, might be overkill. I like where this is at. We just need to find a little bit more acceleration here. Alright, this hand's great. We can accelerate out a Nahiri to start looting. Yeah, I think Pioneer is one of the most fun formats right now. Like, Modern is fun, but has a couple of decks that I like groan every time I see them. I have to learn Legacy, so I don't really have much commentary on it. Same with Vintage, right? But from what I've heard, they're a lot of fun, right? Bailey's a big proponent, Kenny's a big proponent, Justin's a big proponent of Vintage. Standard is usually where is like my bread and butter, and it's honestly the format I've had the least interest in for a bit now, which is unfortunate. The draft format seems sweet. Like it really does feel like Magic's in a really nice place at this very moment in time. Legacy's incredible. You keep talking me into it, Bailey. We're gonna have to sit down. I have to figure this one out. All right. Well, they're holding up a growth spiral. I'm gonna jam into Hiri. Thought about like Croxa Caryatid to guarantee a Bring to Light next turn, but I think just putting Nihiri into play is better. Fetch this Caryatid, try and find an actual land. Well, I should have specified. Somewhere you became a legacy player. I mean, I feel like a lot of people I know eventually become legacy players, and I've never heard anyone actually be mad about it, right? I'm gonna plus on this Kolagon's command. See if we can naturally hit a land here that comes in untapped. We didn't. Fine, that's fine. Let's play Croxa. Figure out what you want to play. Modern Day and Pioneer. There's a lot of sweet legacy decks. Really, really is. Pitches Fire this invention. I guess that makes sense given Nihiri's already out. This would be a rough Actually, this may have been a big punt. This may have been a huge punt. I'm probably supposed to hold D-Spark up. No, they just didn't have it. I was going to say, if they just have Transmogrify, they take our Nihiri. So maybe Kolagon's command would have been a better hold if knowing there's a wall. Alright. Nice, nice. We're going to game 3 too, Kevin. Game 3 gamers over here. Yeah, drawing, you don't even understand. You don't have access to the tapes, but I've never seen someone as excited about the idea of putting a Tri-land into play tapped as Bailey. Kinda just like where we're at. Oh, hold on. Let me check real quick. Exile, not sacrifice. Okay. I was pretty sure it didn't stop it, but I was like, have I just been adult this whole time? It's like, no, it doesn't stop it at all. Okay. Cool, cool. Be cool, be cool, be cool. Transmogrify is such a tough card, especially with Cage being bugged. Excuse me. Pollen season's starting to kick my ass a little bit. This is one of those matchups where I'm sad I cut my Thoughtseizes from the board, but we're here. We're gonna grind them out. Like I said, the scariest thing is like the turn 4 Transmogrify. Everything else I feel pretty okay with dealing with from their deck. Ugh. Good mana, but nothing to do. Alright. It's another slow one, but we just need to fade like turn 4 Transmogrify. We have so many good draws. We have 3 Dovin's Vetoes that are great. We have a lot of reasonable draw steps. Caryatid's obviously our best draw step here. Kind of always is, but we have good answers. We have good ways to deal with stuff. We're just in need of a little acceleration here, because otherwise we're going to be behind the 8 ball on this one. Either disruption or acceleration. Caryatid or Veto are our best draws. Oh, sometimes being a green ramp mage pays off. You just you will the Caryatid to the top. You really do. Opponent has a birth. Means we have to be careful about turn 4 Transmogrify. So D-Spark's a good one, but we really do want to hit a Veto to be able to counter this Transmogrify. Otherwise, we're going to be a turn slow. Alright, because they'll turn 4 Transmogrify with us on 3 lands instead of 4. My hope is that they overly respect the fact that we could have a counterspell. So we're just going to pass. They missed on land? Oh. No, they didn't. Alright, this is going into their turn 4, yeah. Yep, never mind. So they could have it here. Hope is more or less that they just, are respectful that we could have a counterspell. Looks like they are, which is Nice. We also, though, have to be considerate of a counterspell, which is the unfortunate part. Green, blue. All right, they were respectful, but you can't count on them being respectful forever, and we don't have anything, so we just sort of need to start finding something. And if they have a counterspell for this, that's fine. All right, you're up, opponent. We're gonna gain 4. If they steal our Omnath, we can just Elspeth's Conquered Death, the agent, and then go from there. We guarantee it. We have 5 lands, so we can also bring to light, which is nice. This is just Changer Rocks, then we're like super thrilled because it means they don't have Transmogrify. So that's great. Great news. Not really sure what they could have then, though. I mean, I guess they could have land, but they would just Transmogrify and take our thing, right? Almost assuredly. So they could have counter spells here and just be waiting, so we'll wait. We have nothing amazing to do, and we have no reason to act first here. Omen of the Sea? Sure. Puts 1 top, 1 bottom. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Chariot, sure. We're going to... So this looks like a veto. Almost for sure. So I think what we're going to do is try and despark here on end step. And if it gets countered, we can Elspeth Conquers Deaths it. Okay, that's fine. Looks like a veto to me. So we can just look at their hand and still cast Bring to Light. Red, green, blue. Yep. Let's just cast this Valky. I want to see what they're working with. They're reading so heavy like a veto that I don't want to run out Tybalt or Bring to Light. I'd rather just run out Valky. Yep, there it is. Okay, so we know they have veto. More or less just means we want to hold tight for a minute. So fire is veto. Hey. Alright, opponent. Yep, attack for 4. We're gonna take 2 for approximately 100 years here. So they can't play fires if they want to hold a veto. But we know about both of these things, so like there's a fair chance they just fire off fires here. Alright, put Yori into hand, sure. Could just be shock fires Yorion. No, tap land. So we know they have these and Yorion in hand. I think we just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we can't do both of these in a turn. But we don't really want to. have either of them. Again, we really need a veto too, but like we've been sort of sitting back on it. Is this just scry? Cycle, sure. Like I feel like they have to at least consider the idea that we could have a veto. We just like if at any point we just drawn a Niv Mizzet here, we're so far ahead, but the fact that we know about this veto and we don't have two threats. We could have had two threats if we just like played Tybalt, but I think these are worth more. Alright, I'm gonna trade off Valky here so that our Elspeth Conquers Death has something to bring back. Plus, this also just stops any offense they have, which is a nice side benefit. Yorion, this, while holding a veto. Sure, sure. I don't want to blink that. Plays a Triome. Alright. Really just want to draw a Niv Mizzet. If we draw a Niv, we're in like great shape. Otherwise, we're just going to have to run out this Elspeth Conquers Death into the veto and then hope they don't have anything great to punish us. Veto would also be a great draw here. Right, so veto and Niv Mizzet are our best draws, because if we draw a veto, we can just Elspeth Conquers Death, hold up veto for their follow-up play. To the bottom, sure, sure. So we really want, well, not that.
You playing some Niv to light?
Oh yeah, would have hurt.
Not hurt.
Oh, you're not hurt. That was big. Oh, what's up, man? I wasn't looking, and for some reason that just sounded like hurt.
That's okay.
How you doing, Matt?
Not bad. Trying to play some historic.
The truly best format.
Dude, it's amazing. Like, if we get to play this in paper at some point, I'm excited.
I'm also very hyped to hopefully get to play it in paper. I think ECD can only bring it back as Valky, because you're not casting it like Cascade.
Right.
Yeah, I think that was Baden was asking about that. Yeah, it just returns it. So I wish you could just choose to. I don't know if you could just choose Tybalt, because it could be Planeswalker, but I don't think you can. I think you only pick the face up. Alright, land here lets us double spell. We can check the path is clear, or we can just work to the best of our ability. I think we're just going to work. We got to get these spells out of their hand at some point. We know one of them's a fires, 3 mystery cards, they didn't cast anything. Okay, Scry 2, love to see that. That feels positive. 2 on bottom. Okay, okay, okay. This resolving. Or did you just scry to scry? That seems like an odd choice. No, veto. Alright. I think we're just gonna pass. So we know they have. I'm guessing they scried because that's their last counter spell. So we have Tybalt, we have Bring to Light. Alright, just ships it back. Black, blue, green. Let's Bring to Light. Alright, just resolves. That's big game. Snap off a Niv. Despark Veto. Those are very good ones. So can't cast them both just because of our mana, the way we tapped our mana. Getting a Knight of Autumn at some point also will be quite nice, because we can just get rid of that Chain to the Rocks and get back Omnath, but for now, Veto is probably the best draw we could have, because now we have board superiority, we have card advantage, we have another, we know they're out of counter spells in hand, we have 2 big threats, so we're money right now. For as bad as game 1 looked, like I said, I think this matchup's very close post-board, even though we don't have the Thoughtseizes anymore. It's Mogrify. Well, you got me. I'm gonna... tapping the Confluence saves 1 life, tapping the Heritage saves 2. Lost game 3. 3/3 Make a Wolf, pretty strong. Yeah. Is this just double Transmogrify? Chain to the Rocks, okay. At some point, they probably just want to play this Fires, right? Like, we can just deal with this at our leisure. We're not in a rush. Three, 4, 5, 6. Actually, I think we're gonna do this instead. Black, green, blue. Bring to light here. Knight of Autumn. Get back Niv. We're gonna draw the Veto. Rakdos' return is a very nice one, so green. Get this Caryatid in play. Have another Veto. We have this Rakdos return to clean out their hand next turn. We have board superiority again. We have a counter spell. Feeling very strong. We have Tybalt to come down to. Two, three. Do this for 4. Get rid of their hand. They draw a Veto. Shark Typhoon for 7. Sure. We'll Valky that at a point. Just a lot of fires. Okay. Nope. Yeah, we just want 2 of those. Alright, we just want as much mana as possible. Alright, we have a Veto. We'll have to chump block. But that's fine, because then Valky will deal with this. Cycle, sure. We'll have to draw a Knight of Autumn just to get Omnath back too. Yeah, we'll block. Nahiri. Yeah, Nahiri's good enough to get countered. So next turn we're gonna. Oh well, that was a phenomenal draw of our own. Let's do this. Black, red, 1, 2, 3. Let's play Valky. Exile Yorion. Alright. If they don't draw a way to remove our knight, we're in unbelievable business. Alright. We're the Yorion deck now, folks. Yeah, even if they hardcast Agent, it's like not good for us. But I feel like we'd be okay. It'd be tough, right? It'd be tougher, but they would definitely hardcast Agent first. It was good of them to attack there, because otherwise we get to blow this up for free. Exile the cards. What do we got? What do we got? What do we got? Castle of Antris. Don't mind if I do. Bring to Light, also not a bad one. Plus, no discard. 3. Green. Actually, this should be black. Green. Guess bring to light here. Gonna grab another Knight of Autumn here. This gives us Omnath back, and then we're gonna cast Yorion and blink everything. Gain 4 as well. Sort of get us out of range. I guess I didn't leave up D-Spark mana. Alright, blink this, 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 and these. Okay, I guess we'll just blink 1 Carroted. It's fine. Oh, Valky comes back guaranteed as Valky. Feels bad. But we're learning. I guess that's why you don't blink it, but that's okay. We're learning. Supreme Verdict. Well, now I'm a little sad. Alright, now I'm a lot less sad. That's fine. We still have... Do we have K Command? We do. We can K Command for Tybalt. We also just have Teferi and other big things to do. Yeah. For some reason in my head, I was like, oh, yeah, no. It's the same thing as ECD. I answered the same question about ECD and then did it with Yorion. We did a little bit of Return to Monkey right there, but that's okay. I mean, they have to Verdict, right? Like, they can't not Verdict here. Yeah, that was loose. Most certainly loose. Transmogrify, sure. They get Agent, and what are they going to take, though? Take Nahiri? And then Verdict? That's all fine, but they know we have this D-Spark, so, like... We end up in the same spot, except we D-Spark our own here. Like, okay. That's fine. I get my punishment for not leaving up the right mana, but that's okay. D-Spark this. Play Croxa. This is just like worth 6 points of damage by itself, and then another 9. Black, red, red. Puts them to 12, hits them for 9 by itself. Just like, okay. And we get to just hold this Bring Delight to answer anything they do. That's one agent out of their deck, too. Drew a card. Bad for us. Luca. Okay, but Luca's not that impressive because we just attack Luca and it undoes the plus, right? Yeah. Yeah, we just attack Luca, put them to 9 anyway, and then it's lethal next turn anyway, so there's not really a downside to doing that. Alright, you're up, opponent. No, well, because their Luca gets to plus next turn and find a Agent of Treachery, and we deal lethal either way, right? Because we have this Croxen. Like if they keep a card in hand and discard it, we're still fine. We don't have anything to bring to light 4 that deals 3. We only have Kolagon's Command. Again, giving them a better out seems worse than just killing them over 2 turns. This is not Scry now, I guess. Or Scry now. Is this just another Luca? They can't cast it. They can't cast whatever's in their hand. If they cast it, they're dead. Because unless it answers Croxa. They're like a shark for 1. Sure. You got it, friend. Now we just get Kolagon's Command. We can kill the shark, make them discard. Oh, well, they just told us they had nothing, so that's good. Appreciated, but... Why bring Delay when we could just use Teferi? No, Othakaya hasn't been in the deck for a couple iterations. That is one of the nice things about having Othakaya, but... Try to, sure. Looks like we are 2-0. Won a tough match here. Avenged Kenny. Oof, that was a tough one. That was definitely a tough one. But we avenged Kenny's loss there, which was good. Oh, Kenny starting off 0-2. You hate to see it. Oh, canisters in this, I didn't realize. Well, we got bodied game 1, but like I said, I do like the matchup overall, so I think our post-board games were exactly where we wanted them. Granted, game 2 was... I feel like they probably kept a speculative hand that killed us on 4 if they drew a land. And we punted by getting rid of the Kolagon's command to stop it, but they just didn't punish us. Alright. Daniel's in another match late. We're going to start Oblivion. I don't trust it. I don't trust. After going an hour and 7 last time, I don't trust it. Fire up the Oblivion stream. Someone tag Hurt. We're going in. Hurt and Andy will be happy to see. But we've kind of hit a wall with Oblivion, where we're like a little too underleveled to do some of the quests, so we're gonna have to find some other quests to do. What do we got cooking? What quest was I on currently? Oh, the arena? Do I want to do more arena stuff? This second at least. I want to do a quest. Must be level 15 to do the Daedra quest. Feels bad, man. We could start the main quest. No, that's a radical idea. Come on. Who does that? This deception's a reasonable one. We can do this. Investigate some robberies that have been going on.
Leave me alone.
Wow. They still just hate me. I'm just over here being cool. Be cool, be cool, be cool. Let me throw on my shrouded armor. Since last, we played in the Dark Brotherhood for long enough to get the shrouded armor, which is nice. Corgan's house.
Hey.
Hello there.
Hey. Just, where are you? Oh, you're upstairs, but you just heard me come in.
How would you like to get my husband Gogan out of how... Believe me, he'll need all the help he can get to worm his way out of this one. To think he'd fall for the gang's scheme. Oh, I could kill him.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. I'm rambling, and you look confused. Let me explain. The women in the gang use their wiles to lure men out to some remote location and rob them blind. It's been going on for some time now. Take, for example, that good-for-nothing husband of mine, Gogan. He cared more about their charms than my own.
I love
I
it, Sky.
like it here.
Just
People
get
are
your
very
blue white
friendly.
control players to just
Much nicer
concede
than in
to
the
a Tonto
Imperial
Vanguard.
City.
Oh, yes. That's gotta be a good feeling. Thank you for the follow. Let's see. Did Teresa? Sorry if I'm
When
not saying that
Gogan
right.
was
Me pronunciation always
with
go
the
on,
women,
but did Teresa, thank
they
you so
took
much for the
something
follow.
quite valuable from him. No, it's not what you're thinking. He was carrying a precious family heirloom with him when he was lured out to their lair. It was a small ring given to him on our wedding day.
I have considered it.
The
Truth
ring
be
belonged
told,
to my mother and
I
has
was
been in the family for
very close to
generations.
pulling the trigger on
I'm
that
willing to give you all the
yesterday,
money I have
and
to
then
get it back.
didn't end up
100
doing
gold.
it. Card seemed great.
Can you help us?
Of all the cards in Strixhaven, I pulled out the Lorehold command and the green-blue command as potential additions. I think the red-white command is going to end up in the deck. I think some people in the showcase are playing it. I'm not saying anything about that, but I think there's a good chance it ends up in the deck, and I was heavily considering it. One of the slots that would have been was the Teferi, so I went Teferi instead, but I think the Tolsmir is pretty much a replaceable effect for the red-white. The only difference is that it can't be vetoed, which is kind of prevalent in the meta right now, but the fact that it's an instant
Thank you.
also really
I'm afraid I
helps.
can't offer you much help. All I can tell you is
And
that
it's a
the
very
best
versatile
place
card.
to start is at the Flowing Bowl. It's a tavern located
So I
outside the
think
city
that card's
walls
really
near the
good.
waterfront.
I think it will make its way in,
Gogan may be
and
able to
I
give you
like
more
where its
information
upside is.
beyond that.
But
Watch Galit is a
truth be told,
dangerous
it's one of those things where if I had like a little more time, I would have loved to have tested it out, and I think I would have ended up with
The
it in my
Flowing
deck.
Bowl attracts the
But
worst Amble has to offer.
I think
Always be
on
on
short
your
notice for
guard.
the event, I didn't want to just
What
throw
do
it
you
in
want?
untested.
See, my wife couldn't keep a big mouth shut. Yes, it's true. I lost the family ring to those sirens. I'm ashamed about the whole incident, but not ashamed enough to ask for your... I was sitting in the Flowing
Great.
Bowl when
You're
the
so
most
ashamed.
fetching Nord woman you've ever seen walked in with an equally attractive Imperial. After we exchanged words, I followed them out to a farmhouse. Inside, they asked me to remove my clothes and items. Well, I did. And then suddenly they brandished weapons
This
and
wasn't
robbed
what I
me.
was thinking.
They sent me away with Just please, help me get that ring back. Sorry, I'm new and... I'm merely a man. How could I resist?
The overacting they're doing is something alright. I'm merely a man. How could I have resisted their wiles? I'm new in town. Don't know a soul, but we've been married and lived here for a while. Alright, sure. Everything checks out. Yeah, this is a good quest. The Oblivion has like
May I help
all
you?
good quests.
Timothy LaRouche, late of the Black Dog, able seaman. I'll be staying ashore till my stash runs out, then it's off to sea one.
Able.
I've gone aground in ports all over the Abyssian Sea. I swear that when I passed by Venerous Manor last night, I heard someone scream from it. That layabout? You can find him.
Ooh,
Bye.
it's a nice little house to get access to.
What is it now?
Oh, hello.
Welcome to the Flowing Bowl. A terrible crime. Everyone in the... Yes, I've noticed some of them in my establishment. If you wait around long... I don't know where he came... Have a look at my ware.
While we're here. Chat got messed up for a second. The riff sucks so bad.
The Count went missing about 10 years ago. No one
Yeah,
knows what happened to
The
him.
main quest is the
Lady
real
Malone
pitfall. I think
rules County
Skyrim has
Anvil.
better main
Her
story and everything
ladyship
else.
has
in
no
Oblivion,
intention
I
of
prefer with like combat is also a
Stop.
little bit better.
Talk to Faustina. She's got a proposition for you.
Yes, the homewrecker.
Never seen you here before. I've put together a gang. We make money by luring fools out to the middle of nowhere and robbing them blind. I'll leave the decision up to you. If you want to join up. Oh, and one more thing. If you breathe a word of this... Just to be perfectly clear, we're not prostitutes. We do everything on our own terms.
Good to know. Head over to the caves. So there's one match left. Ah, there's a cave that leads to the... When you accidentally trigger a different quest while trying to solve one quest, love to see it. Mountainside sneak. Oh no. Yep, it's on the other side of this mountain. Alright, go the slightly longer way. Oop. Truly one of the best parts of Oblivion is just the traversal to random quests. Wait our 3 hours till 11 p.m. I'm sure this will go swimmingly and there will be no conflict whatsoever.
I see you decided to take us up on our offer. Good. We could use another gal in the gang. Here's how it works. We case the flowing bowl for a likely subject. Namely, we look for a married guy who drinks a lot. Then we'll send you in there where you charm the man and get him to come out to some location we pick to rob him. When he gets there, we make him take off all his clothes, which is very easy, by the way. While they're helpless, that's when we spring the trap. So far, we haven't had to draw one drop of blood. The best part of the whole thing is that the men are so embarrassed they won't tell the guards. So, the bottom line is, you show a little skin, just to tease.
It's a smart plan.
No one touches you. What do you say? Well, that's never happened before. I suppose we'd have to kill you. I mean, we can't have you going back to Anvil and ruining the whole plan. But why say no when it's so much easier and more lucrative? Damn, I knew it. You're working for the city guard, aren't you? I should have known after I fenced that stupid ring and discovered it was a fake. Okay, girls, we go.
You're outmatched, elf.
There we go. Switching up the game. Well, the base are cooking. Or is Summerhorn better? Really don't have any potions. Hate to see it. Came woefully unprepared for this fight.
That's the best you can do.
Alright. Whoa. There we go. Skin of his teeth. For as underprepared as we were. But we'll take it.
We had a feeling you'd be surprised when you saw us in our real uniforms.
Oh, did you?
I see you have a puzzled look on your face. Gogan and I are really members of the Anvil City Watch. We've been trying to foil Faustina's gang for months now. Every time we tried to interview a man who was lured there, they refused to talk. The women in the gang picked married men to seduce for just that reason. It was decided you fit the bill perfectly. We'll clean up the mess. If you ever find yourself back in Anvil, you've done well. The assassination. Don't spend all the money.
I'll come back for that later when there's not guards just standing right there. I'm not about to die. By the skin of our teeth on that one. Thanks, card hoarder. I'll get. Yep. And there they are. Still last match cooking. Oh, well, I'm glad it saved before I fast traveled because it just crashed. You hate to see that. Fix this real quick. Daniel Lacos go into time once again. We're gonna have another hour round. Oblivion and crashing. Hate to see it. At least I thought to step outside. Could have quick save too, but we'll take it. Take what we can get on this one. Alright. Head back to Anvil. Heal up a little. Remember to actually have potions before we do a combat oriented mission.
I don't have time for you.
See the prophet's not out at the moment. Yeah, just sleeping.
Well, well, a wayward son returning to the church. What do you want with me? This is only the beginning. Umaril has returned as foretold by Pelinal Whitestrake in his dying breath.
Great. The way shrines.
Umaril the Unfeathered, the sorcerer king of the Aelids, who ruled over this land for long ages before the rise of men. He was cast down by Pelinal Whitestrake, but Umaril's spirit survived, and now he has returned to seek vengeance. Doesn't Saint Pelinal, the divine crusader of legend, Alicia's companion when she overthrew the rule. Pelinal, with the aid of the gods, fought the Aeliad sorcerer King Umaril and slew him. But Umaril's spirit survived, and he has now returned. Do you understand nothing? The blood, As Uibala, Umarale El Nada Rakuva, a curse. Alas, Umaril can, without a champion, the god. You would quest for the holy panoply of Pelinal Whitestrake? Are you? And I'm sure you will have no trouble finding the relic. Why do you come to the weapons and armor of Pelinal White? He went alone into the white gold tower, challenged the air. Alas, Umaril was not true. And now he has returned to wreak his vengeance upon the gods.
We talked about this earlier. The only cards I think that were worth considering are the Red-White Command, which I think will end up in the deck, and I was pretty close to putting one or two copies in today, and maybe the Green Command. But the thing about the Strixhaven multicolor cards is they just they're very narrow, and they want to interact with other cards within like Strixhaven, and we want big power level, right? And the power level of Strixhaven as a whole is pretty low, and like our deck is already just mono good stuff. We just want the best stuff and the most powerful stuff, and so the Red-White Command probably ends up replacing it's probably the best. Honestly, I don't have all of the cards memorized. I can look at it.
Are you?
We'll exit out and look, since this is going to be switching over as well. Let's see. What does our friend the Prismati command do for us? I mean, in the context of like just pure power level, I believe there's a good chance the Prismati command is the best, but that's not the context of Pioneer, right? Where are the commands? I already passed them? I guess I did. That's not how you spell it either. What a shame. So let me just find the commands. Makes life so much easier. Here we go. So blue-red, deal 2 to any target. We already have Kolagon's command, so that's not a particularly useful effect comparative to adding. Draw 2, discard 2. The looting's nice. It's not actually advantage, it's just selection, and we already have a ton of card advantage. The selection doesn't really help us crazy amount. Creates a treasure token is interesting, but not really worth a card on its own. And destroy an artifact, again, similar idea. Like, none of these actually do anything that we're not already doing. Lorehold command would replace something like Tolsmir. So, like, you're still getting a 3-2, and you're still lightning helixing something. But it can also helix planeswalkers. It can act to protect your Niv Mizzet against removal or wraths. And you can sacrifice lands in the mid to late game to draw 2. So it still has that same card advantage effect. We don't have a lot of Boros cards right now, so it's easily findable by Niv. And, ooh, we're playing Dreams. And it actually acts as at least a reasonable just replacement for Tolsmir. I think the Gigantha decks are, what, Jund? I think it's Jund. Let me take a look real quick. Oh, not Jund. Not sure what it is. Alright. We're on the play. We don't actually have access to this removal spell, and Valky's okay, but I don't think it's great. I think we look for a better hand here. Alright. Strictly better, just not amazing. But that's fine. We'd love to draw a Caryatid. We're going to put this Glacial into play tapped next turn. Our power level's at least good. Yeah, Lorehold command at least I think has the highest upside of the decks of the cards from Strixhaven. Is it just a mirror, but they're playing Gigantha? Interesting. This is Mardu colors. Yeah, it looks like we are just playing probably one of the Greed Pile mirrors. That's a good card to have in a Greed Pile mirror. Especially because we can go Omnath, and if Omnath survives, we can just play this Fabled Passage and get both Niv and Teferi cooking. I guess not both, but green, blue, white, red. So this Fabled Passage can kind of get anything. And we'll have all our colors, and Watergrave also does it. Justice Strike. Okay. Okay. Curious. Curious what's going on here. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, like, power level of Strixhaven is, like, low in general. There's a couple of cards that are on, like, a high enough power level, so, like, you're already at a very slim pickings, especially the older formats as you get, with the differentiator being, like, Lumamancer is really good because it's 1 mana and powerful. So, like, the Izzet command and the blue-green command are powerful, but probably not an effect we need in this deck specifically. Yeah, I feel like Dreams and I are always running 4 to 5 color piles into each other. Is this a Fires of Invention deck? Is that what we're doing? Omnath of your own. Okay, well. Hate to be the person without the Omnath in an Omnath matchup. So we might just answer Omnath. But I think we're just gonna Niv. Like we just want some advantage on the board. Black, white, green, red. So basically any basic does it. Black, white, green, red, blue. It probably is. Like I said, I was close to playing the red-white command, but I didn't get enough time to really test any of the changes from when Strixhaven came out. Card availability is pretty low. I know Magna Opus has started seeing some play elsewhere, if I'm not mistaken. Let me see. Deals 4 on any targets, tap 2 permanents. Yeah, I mean, it's a big spell, right? But like again, remember like what are the weaknesses of this deck? Like there's a lot of Dovin's vetoes running around. There's a lot of mystical disputes running around. There's a lot of things that like aren't where you want to be if you're doing that specifically, and I think that lines up poorly against some parts of the meta. Alright, so we are just playing a Greed Pile Mirror, everyone's favorite. Green, white, black. Anything you can do, I can do better. Specifically did build this deck to attack greed piles, so hence the Teferi, the second Valky. You know, we have a Dreadbore for their Valky. Their Niv is obvious, or our Niv is obviously going to be good. No, I haven't tried Magna Opus Gear Hulk, but I feel like you already have Gear Hulk Sublime Epiphany, and you have Gear Hulk Dig Through Time. Like, what is this? I guess the question I have to always ask with these kind of cards is like, what is this latest big thing we can cheat out with the Gear Hulk do for us that we don't already have? It might do something great, right? It's still really early to know. It's not like a definitive statement either way, but what is it doing for us that we aren't already doing? In like, is it putting us into Grixis? Is it putting us into just blue red? Like, what are we doing to enable this card? All right, so they have a Dreadbore. Fine, not ideal, but fine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 3. So if we play this, we have 2 mana left over. We play this, we get a 4 mana left over. Crack gets us to 5 plus 2 because it's just neutral, right? Yeah. Blue, white, red, green. Really hope they don't have a removal spell, but I think that would be unlikely to have an instant speed spell main deck that answers Omnath. Or I guess a second one, right? Because they already used the Justice Strike. Gonna get a mountain. Fairy. Strange as it sounds, if they had a way to answer, I think we'd rather they answer this to Fairy. Yeah. Because now we just get to kill this. Alright. Opponent has our Niv, and otherwise we are in an advantage. But the Niv is going to be a problem at a point, but we will Nahiri answer it. We have Bring to Light. We have their Omnath, so we're going to be gaining a lot of life. And we have a second Tybalt, which is kind of a mirror breaker, truth be told. Okay, so they have 5 mana. Mortify. Okay, that's fine. We got all the value we needed off of that. Nahiri, sure. Nahiri's fine. deal with Nahiri when we can. I guess we can. So, black, red, 1. Kill that. Bring to light, black, white, green, red, blue. Could just get another Niv. Just like keep the card advantage rolling a little bit. I think that's actually better, because then if we find another Bring to Light, we can always get Valky later. Stop that card hoarder. Ooh, Slaughter Games is nice in these mirrors, but we know they have we know they're gonna have a Niv Mizzet, so let's just take the Dreadbore. We found the other Bring to Light, so now we just have a full grip. Nice full grip, and we're ahead on lands, we're ahead on board, we're ahead on cards, we're just ahead. It's not just a loot. There's a lot of really good enchantments, right? Like this can answer any tapped creature, it can answer any artifact, or tapped artifact and any enchantment. So it answers like Klothys in the mirror, it answers Shark Typhoon, it answers any tapped creature that's powerful. And then if there's nothing better for you to do, you just loot, and then when you get to 8, you get to get a free Niv Mizzet with haste, and then Niv comes back to your hand. So then you get a second Niv trigger. So it's just like it's like a Swiss Army knife, right? It's all purpose. It's not any specific thing, but it's a lot of different things. Okay, so they get 1 Dreadbore and a Slaughter Games or Dreadbore? Just Dreadbore. Okay. So their Niv Mizzet was much less impressive than ours. So let's red, white, green, or sorry, blue, white, black. Do this. Get Valky. Exile our own Niv Mizzet again. Play Klothys. And put a Fable Passage into play. And there we go. We are continuing to just grind advantage. We have a Tibble, we have a Niv Mizzet in the chamber, we have a grip of cards that kind of don't matter, but they have power and toughness and will end the game eventually, right? We have a Kolaghan's Command to get back a Valky, an Omnath, or a Niv Miz. Yes, our Teferi is gone, which is sad, but that's okay. Kolaghan's Command, get back Valky, kill our Valky. Alright. I see how it is. They had to do that then, because otherwise we could exile Valky. Is this a Niv Mizzet of their own? Yep. Alright, so we're back to parity again. Really don't want to have to... Alright, they get Abrupt Decay and Bring to Light. Abrupt Decay is not really important. Bring to Light's kind of a pain. Grab a land. Yeah, we want to keep Forest and Plains in our deck, because that's just free value with Yusharn. Get rid of this Omnath. Draw Plains. Play it. Alright, we'll play Niv. See where we go from there. There we go. Like to see that. Because now we can Slaughter Games Valky. Valky. God of Lies. Get that right out of there. Alright, and again, the reason that we would normally take Bring to Light or Niv Mizzet, but we're kind of fine with all of these cards right now in the situation. We just have advantage, and getting rid of Valky is pretty big win, because now... Okay, well, this is a dead card, this is a dead card, this is a dead card, and they have a Bring to Light. Bring to Light probably gets Slaughter Games, Omnath, or Niv Mizzet, and they also have a Teferi. Okay. First, Decay, Spirited, BTL. Okay. That's fine. All that works. I mean, if they attack with Niv, we'll block, and then they'll Bring to Light, we'll Bring to Light. Everybody will Bring to Light. They could Bring to Light for, like, Teferi here, but then we just get to Nahiri, exile their dragon, kill their Teferi, and then we're just really ahead. Really far ahead. We do have to win at a point, but that's a problem for later. We might even just take the 6, and yeah, actually, I lied. We're just going to take the 6. We're going to Nahiri kill this, and so if they Bring to Light, they can't Bring to Light for Teferi because it's a Planeswalker. They can Bring to Light for Slaughter Games for Bring to Light, but that's sort of neither here nor there, sure. Niv's already on the field. They could hit our own Valky. They're just going to kill their own Niv here? That doesn't seem great to me. Like, if they don't hit a really good Niv, Dreadbore is fine. They hit another Bring to Light? Sure. It's all fine. One Niv. Here's the Caryatid. So we know they have Bring to Light. These cards don't matter. But the last card is Verse. So these 2 and Verse. Or these 3 and Verse. That's fine. Hit Nahiri. Oh, what do we want to do? How many Niv Mizzets have they done? 1, 2, 2? Alright. We'll kill your Niv Mizzet. Red. Green. Play another Niv Mizzet. We don't have a lot of cards left to draw with Niv, but Kolaghan's Command is the main one we want to hit. Alright, we hit. Alright. Opponent's up. This is their 3rd Dreadbore. 4th Dreadbore. They're running 4 Dreadbores. Good to know. Good to know. We also have an Utter End to deal with their next Niv Mizzet. Oh god, we're so low on time for game 1. Alright, time to play a little faster. I hate these soup matchups so much. Alright, they just put Slaughter Games. They can Slaughter Games. But then we just, if they hit Valky, we get Niv Mizzet back. If they hit... I guess they could just name Kolaghan's Command. That's like the secret interesting mode here. Alright, just let it happen. If they name Kolaghan's Command. Yeah, alright. They saw the line. They have an Abrupt Decay in hand, so there's not really a point in just like making them discard a card because they just discard the Abrupt Decay pretty easily. We are just gonna kill them with damage though. Like we're gonna Drain Life them. Try to end this Niv. This will put him to 8. They're going to Dreadboard this next turn though, so we need to apply a little more pressure. Oh, we missed an attack for 4. That's on me. I forgot. If we're gonna, it was exact mana, but if we were gonna do this, we could have attacked for 4. Okay, so they've gone through 3 Niv Mizzets, right? Because one's exiled. 3 Niv Mizzets. Their Slaughter Games. 3 Bring Delights. 3 Dreadbores. You know, they have Dreadbore Abrupt Decay, and we're just trying. They're on a 4-turn clock just from Klothys alone, so we're just trying to turn these creatures sideways here. They draw another Bring Delight, because that would actually be terrible for us. Teferi, okay, that's fine, because this is a creature now. If they had Shadow's Verdict, that also would be bad for us. But pretty much anything they do with Teferi here doesn't matter. Draw a card, sure. Has to be like exactly Shadow's Verdict. Okay, we're out the game. Oof. In the Battle of the 5-color soups, we have won game 1, which allows us to bring in these lovely cards we specifically brought in for this matchup. So we have 9 in, we have 9 out. Sharn, Knights, Decays, 1 Extinction Event, and it should be 1 Dreadbore. Even though Dreadbore's great, don't get me wrong. Like we have D-Sparks to sort of replace those, and yeah, the mirror is. These 5-color soup decks are literally just we're gonna grind for 100 years. That's it. Just fucking grind. So like that's why you got to bring in stuff like Croxa and Rakdos Return. Is like if you can get somebody empty-handed and then just like slam an Niv Mizzet, the game can just end right there. But like we have vetoes, we have D-Sparks that are going to be huge. These Elspeth Conquer Deaths are going to be huge because they're going to take out their verses because they look dead. They looked at our deck, right? There's no monocolor card in our deck they can hit because Carriage is hexproof. So they should take out their verses, and then we get to slam an Elspeth Conquers Death and just like keep the train cycling. And it exiles their stuff, so it keeps them from Polygons commanding as well as buying it back any other way. I didn't even realize how low we were on time, just because it's such a grind of a matchup. So we're only down like 30 seconds, but I want to try and start playing fast from the get here. Obviously, we'll still have to think about our positions and stuff, but it's a fucking bit of a nightmare, truth be told, to try and play this. All right. And Dreams is a really good player too, so I'm not going to get any free wins off of Dreams. But I like where the deck's at. I like what it's cooking. I think Dreams' deck is a good 5-color soup deck, right? Its greed pile is big, and the more greedy you are, the better you are in these matchups. So we specifically tuned an extra Teferi, an extra Valky, and these Elspeth Conquers Death, and an extra Veto for this mirror because, you know, greed is good. This hand does nothing. This hand does even less. This hand's great. Go back Nahiri and Fabled Passage. We're just going to keep our reasonable lands, our best 2-drop, our best answer, and a card for the later game in case we draw a couple lands here. Alright, well, Niv is a sight for sore eyes at some point. Again, there's an argument in these kind of like soup decks to just like keep anything. Like you'll have time, but at the same token, it's just you can't just keep 5 lands and hope your opponent's gonna do nothing all game. Well, we wish we had that Fabled Passage instead of this Bring to Light if we knew the top 2 cards of our deck were Niv Mizzet, but we didn't, so here we are. Really need to just draw some lands here. We're gonna try and get up on time while we can here. While we don't have any like real decisions to make. Play this and pass. Alright, again, as you saw with the first round, these soup decks can just go to time. So like we do just want to stay above in time. Which, you know, usually I play pretty fast. We got a little bit slowed down and bogged down in that game, but ideally we'll play faster. If this is an Omnath, it's not great for us. Okay, put that into hand is fine. This looks like a dispute, so we'd love to draw a tap land. Okay, we need to get this dispute out of their hand anyway, and if it isn't a dispute, we need to draw a card. Yeah, it's a dispute. That's fine. Don't care. Really don't. We just needed the land. And like, if they Bring to Light us, it sucks, but losing them all to 5, not the end of the world. We'll move on to game 3 pretty happily here. They don't have a 5th land to punish. Oh, that's pretty good for us, because it means we get a chance to draw a 5th land. Not to punish, but to just accelerate. Okay. Nope. Nope, nope, nope. I sense weakness. You got more disputes. We got to get them out of your hand. You don't? Okay. Resolves. Get a Bring to Light to Fairy Clothis, sure. They probably have a removal spell, but, you know, 1-for-1ing with Niv is never actually 1-for-1ing. You're 1-for-1 plus, yeah. Like, we drew 3 cards. So, like, that's fine. And again, we have a Dovin's veto, so it like looks really weird to do stuff like this, but my read is they have veto in hand, right? My guess is they had to fire off that dispute on the Omnath. They hit a 5th land, so now they're probably just going to slam their own Niv here, or a Tybalt. Tybalt's a little bit rough, but then we get to just slam it to Fairy and get rid of their Tybalt. That's, okay, just Niv. I mean, just Niv, right? Like, Niv's pretty good, but, you know, is what it is on that. They hit Nahiri, Clothis, and that's it. Okay, well, Nahiri Clothis is not the end of the world. Oh, they get Dreadbore too? And Dreadbore. Okay. So, Antha, Dread, Cloth, Nahiri. Alright, cool. I should just be F8'd. I don't know why it held priority there. Alright, they have to discard 2 cards. What you gonna get rid of, opponent? I think we just get Tybalt here and eat their Niv Mizzet. Yeah, I like that a lot. Let's just get this game to a grind where we get a free Niv Mizzet. And like hopefully we draw land so that we just keep up on lands. I really want to hit some lands here. I'd love to hit like tap land, get Tybalt, exile their Niv Mizzet, have a Niv Mizzet in the chamber, and then we're just like back where we were last game, right? Like both players have unlimited cards, both players have unlimited good stuff. Just sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. White, red, green. Alright, so they got rid of that Dreadbore. Play Valky. Give me that. I don't think it's going to create a new meta. I think Strixhaven's low enough power level that you're going to see a couple of cards. Like, you're going to see better red-white prowess decks. You're going to see similar decks upgraded, but I don't think you're going to see wholly new decks for the most part. I don't think that's a problem. I think not every set can like revolutionize everything, right? Like, that's also equally bad, but I think we will see some adaptations made. So we want to red. Green. Maybe we just bring to light here. Yeah, Jund Food is still really good. I would definitely say it's still in the top echelon of Pioneer for sure. Let's get Omnath. I know it seems weird when you have Nimbuzet to get Omnath, but we have this Fabled Passage right here already, so we're gonna get to like do multiple things. So normally I would just get like a Swamp and probably play this. Oh, actually we are gonna do that because Teferi lets us untap. Lets us untap for Dovin's Veto. So opponent's got a lot of permanents to deal with here. We're back to not being ahead on time, so gotta keep that in mind. Yeah, target whatever you want with that. It's yours. Like, they discarded a Dreadbore, they probably have one more. I don't know how much the Phoenix deck wants the Prismati spells, because they're 5 mana spells a lot. The command, maybe. We already have Visit Charm. Like, the biggest problem and the reason why it's such low power level is, like, even the Prismati spells are just, like, not doing anything the deck doesn't already do at a cheaper cost. And, like, Pioneer, I look at any format other than Standard as, like, if you can get a very similar effect at 1 less mana, even if it's less versatile, you're probably taking it, right? 1 less pip in the mana cost, probably taking it. So, like, Izzet Charm is just a better Prismati command for the draw 2 mode, and, like, also the shock mode, because it does that too. So, like, then you just have to ask, like, are the other modes better? And, like, I don't actually think they do enough to justify it. But again, it's still so early in these cards existing that, like, I haven't seen Expressive Iteration. I know what the card does from Limited. That card might actually make some impact. I'm still, again, with the set coming out very recently, there's going to be some holes in my knowledge of the decks and cards for sure. But that card does seem very powerful. I've been impressed with that card every time I've seen it in Limited. And, ooh, here's a really good draw. Let's us exile this Klothys. And again, if they have an answer, that's fine. We, like, pretty much don't care. If they have a veto for this Klothys is never killing us, so we don't actually care. We'd like to get rid of it because it's convenient, less so than because we care. Alright, Ashiok has seen enough. We have won our mull to 5 in the 5-color soup mirror. Up to 3-0. Oof. That was a tough one. I gotta speed up a little in these matchups. Just a little. Alright, let me peek in real quick. I heard there was some boosties going on. Let me check.
You may put any number. I'm trying to read this upside down. You may put any number of them into your hand and the rest into the graveyard. You lose 3 life for each card.
The challenge is 7 rounds. 7 rounds for the challenge today. You opening some boosties, Bailey? Let me get this up. Whoop. All right, let me pull up Bailey's stream. They're opening some Strixhaven stuff, so I know that's going to be quite sweet to look at while we have a minute. Whoop, that is not what I wanted to have happen. There we go. Let me pull this up real quick. Yeah, I mean, I enjoy both formats. They're very different formats, right? And like, I definitely would say that Historic is going to trend very differently with the Mystic Archives. So I would look at them as just like different formats more so than being too concerned with the idea of like them affecting each other. They're not necessarily competing in the long term.
Fuck yeah.
Ooh.
That's sick.
Oh,
Would you look
a
at that?
natural order?
Jesus.
Bailey.
I'm just going to turn this around and look at it myself for a sec.
So nice. We got a Roomba cooking in the back too.
How are we doing in the challenge, Sky? 3-0? Oh, Skyleaf.
I feel like that
I just
art
that
might
for a
be
second.
This
popular
looks
with Commander players.
sick.
They love their
I wonder how much that is.
cards.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Witherbloom Command. Man, these full art cards are pretty penny.
nice natural order.
Fuck 'em. Or the full art, like, orders gotten reprinted. Art cards look fucking sweet.
Yeah, we're
I feel
3-0
like
right now.
that art might be popular with Commander players. They love their
Couple
Bailey,
uncommon
thoughts on
yeah.
Witherbloom Commander?
And Legacy?
Command?
I don't know. Man, these full art cards are
Oh.
sick. Fuck 'em. Your favorite Magic card right there? You
like,
talking about natural order casual camel? Looks really cool, huh? I'm thrilled about that.
Okay, so there we go.
We got an Eliminate. This rare is pretty good. I like that card. There's something there.
Kill Junk. I mean,
this looks fucking sick.
It did.
This is a card I'll play in standard a lot, and like
was also like
Pioneer in paper. So that's a card I'll play in paper. I'm happy to have it.
It was probably too good.
Foil commons.
It was probably on the borderline of too good in Historic for what it was. So like I don't mind them shaking stuff up. Love to see Bailey rocking these good packs though. Big fan. Ooh, Witherbloom Campus. Nice, nice. Yeah, these mystical archives are so gorgeous. I cannot wait to have them in paper. Ooh. Ooh, it's the Dean, the Witherbloom Dean. Alright, we'll hop out of here. I hope Bailey has a good run with those, but we'll hop back into some Oblivion. It was nice to get to see the natural order poll though. Happy about that. Yeah, still seven matches left, so we have plenty of time. Yeah, I mean, you have to remember, right? We're still in week 1. People are going to be excited to get to play with the things that, play with the toys like looting. But I don't think those decks will be where the format shakes out, truth be told. I would just give it a little time. Anytime a huge shakeup happens in the format, you're going to get some, 1, lack of deck diversity, and 2, you're going to get a lot of... forgot to save. That's a little bit of lack of deck diversity, and you're also going to just get a chance that people are going to play with the newer cards a little bit higher rate than even they should be. So I wouldn't be overly concerned about that, just on the basis of, you know, Brainstorm will see play, all these cards will see play, but it isn't going to be as all-consuming as it looks off the bat. I mean, the 1 mana, you have to pay 1 mana every time you activate it, so it's not a free effect like Kalidas. But it does probably, it does make it tougher for them, right? But the other thing is, like, remember, as like a reasonable counterpoint, food probably needed a little bit of a nerf, and this just allows it to still exist without banning it, which is great. And you also have plenty of removal in Jund Food, right? The Kalidas 1-drop is a 1/1, so Mayhem Devil just kills it. Basically anything kills it, so it shouldn't be such a backbreaking card that Jund Food dies.
You must be downright determined to...
I think if Jund Food is bad now, it's because of other cards. Let's see. That was the card Bailey just opened, the Dean. Alright, let's see. Non-token creature an opponent controls would die, exile it instead. When you... Oh, okay, so it does exile anyway, so you just don't get the pass. That's fair. Probably does make it tougher, but again, Mayhem Devil answers it. You might just have to run a little bit more dedicated removal. And again, I don't think people are playing that card as like a 4-of, right? That's not... It doesn't build an archetype. It doesn't enable anything hugely. So I'd be shocked if, like, you run into 4x of that card, even with Jund. Like, you're more likely to run into Yasharn than you are to run into that card, I think. And, like, if you are running into it a lot, then you can start to change your deck a little bit. You know, instead of Jund Sack, be Jund Coco. You know, run some 1 mana, or like run some of those 1 damage spells, like Spikefield Hazard as a land that can also answer the Dean. Like, there's a lot of ways to get creative with your deck building to answer a card like that. It shouldn't kill your whole strategy. If any one card kills your whole strategy, your strategy wasn't good enough to be cold. Because, like, Yasharn does a much better job of killing. I mean, I'm sure there will be a Brainstorm deck, right? Brainstorm's one of the most powerful cards of all time. There will be some Brainstorm decks, probably some Taking Turns decks. Phoenix will probably keep seeing play. The Hooglandia Open had a ton of different decks. Rule won it, Taking Turns was up there. Like, I'm sure Aggro will still have a place. Jund will probably still have a place, just like I said, with a couple of alterations to better handle the new cards. There's a lot of good archive cards, but I wouldn't be shocked if only some of them end up being a big effect. This guy can die that big.
Good people, we have a winner! All hail the combatant from the blue team! Victor from the blue team, leave the arena now and rest. You earned it.
I can't believe I'm saying this, but you're no longer a pit dog. That's right. You've actually advanced in rank. Congratulations, Brawler.
I mean, honestly, I think Storm has the potential to be tier 1, but the UI in Arena is very bad for Storm. Like, unfathomably bad. Like, you don't have the, like, pick same targets type stuff. Like, it's actually just terrible. I would highly expect that Storm will take a little bit to even catch on, just as people need to deal with the UI issues. And again, Arena is not a great facilitator for long turns. Storm wants to sort of take a long turn, and chess clocks are great for Storm. The rope is not good for Storm. So I would be surprised if right away Storm is tier 1, and it's also got such a diverse build that I feel like there's a fair amount of things that could be done with it. Yeah, I would be surprised if Storm was tier 1 off the bat. Told. I imagine it will probably see play. Like, Mind's Desire is an unbelievably powerful card, Grape Shot's a good card, but again, you also don't have any rituals, really. You have the Ignis, and that's it. So I think, like, they would be cautious about ever putting rituals or anything in there, and that's where that's where Storm actually would break. So once you start getting those rituals,
Armor, weapons, I have.
need a better bow first of all, but let's get 50 more arrows while we're here. Actually,
I offer the finest goods and lowest prices.
It's 1 arrow. Let's get rid of these. Longsword. I need to keep those, and those are all staying. Cool, cool.
You too.
Refresh our arrows at least. What do we want to do now? We don't have enough money for where spirits have least. I think it's like 5 grand. This one's not. Red Betrayed's fine. We can give this a shot. We'll probably die. We'll see how it goes. This is Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion. One of my all-time favorite games. Probably top 5 all-time. Easily top 5 all-time. There's Morrowind is the 3rd Elder Scrolls game. This one and the 5th one is Skyrim. So a lot of people know Skyrim. Less so Oblivion and less so Morrowind. But they're all very, very good. Oblivion's fantastic. I'd say that with the exception of combat and the main story, even though Skyrim came out years later, Oblivion still, from the music, the sound design, the world, the quests, the guilds, it just absolutely takes the better spot for me. A lot of people in our Discord have been big Oblivion fans and Elder Scrolls fans, so we're starting up a new run to do between rounds, but also it's a nice game to be able to just pause when a round starts. But obviously, you know, probably going to look at Hello Wolf. Probably going to look at like Mass Effect as a future game. There we go. So we have Mass Effect on the docket, Knights of the Old Republic, another one of my top 5 games. We've been playing some Hades between rounds. A lot of good games. I mean, Steam has unlimited good games, right? So I'm willing to play most games. As long as we can pause them when the round starts, I'm pretty happy. You know, I'm playing on a laptop, so my ability to play the best games is a little bit hindered until I get my new desktop. But until that happens, you know, I'm not going to be running Crysis while streaming. Sekiro, I haven't played it yet. I was never big in the like Dark Souls, Sekiro style games. The like, my best friend is big into those. I sort of leave him to them, but I could probably give it a try. I've heard good things, and like I know some of the spoilers, and it looks great. Truth be told, I don't have a lot of great dexterity, so I would imagine I would control. I imagine I would get lit up the first couple goes on Sekiro, but I'm always willing to grind out a game and try it. Oh, I'm doing no damage. We are in a bad way. I think this troll is faster than me too. Kite this boy for 100 years. Oh, hello. No. Whatever you are selling, I would like. Oh god. None of it. Okay, it actually doesn't hurt that bad. Maybe we just go melee against it. Grab the Sepultaran. Yeah, there we go. That's actually knocking it around a little. Plus the drain health is just like a much easier way to kill it. Nice. Man, my bow is so weak. Witcher 3 is on my short list. Hurt, who hops into these a lot, has been recommending me that game forever. So has my best friend Adam. So the Witcher series is on my radar. I will probably play Witcher 3 on stream at a point for sure. Which one of you is the bandits and which one of you is the good guys? The real question. They're under siege by marauders. I think you are the marauders, right? Ah, you are. Time to kill the warlord. Big offense, though. I'd like to not keep getting clapped. Oh, that's a rough one, for sure. I mean, I know some people who quite like Gwent, but it's rough that you have to like be able to play like an auxiliary card game to be able to continue the story. I think that's not my favorite thing. Oh boy. Doing this backwards is not our favorite. Hey. Could anyone shoot this guy? No. Just me? On arrow in the back too. Over here. Good. Fucking.
I thought mud crabs more fearsome than you.
Yeah, probably. There we go. Nice heavy number though. Where's our last marauder? Nice little battle mage. Get back here. I'm not done with you.
Got.
Oh, that's a good one.
Oh, hello.
Oh, Zelda's. My cat Zelda is reaching under the door. She's like, I
This
want
is
to get
indeed a dark day for all of us left. Here, take this. It'll tell you all you need. As the newest master of the castle, I bid you welcome.
Just own a castle now. Oh, it's so the armor's so heavy. It's not worth picking all up. We'll take the plates. Let me just scroll chat back down. Yeah, I play Arena too. A lot less so than the Magic Online, mainly due to nice armor. Mostly just to, like, card availability, right? Like if I could rent cards on Arena the way I can rent cards on Moto, I would probably play Arena a lot too, but it's just not. That's really heavy. Alright, the Dwarven Greaves are too heavy for what they are, and so are these. Not into it. There we go. I just like own a castle now? This note. Yeah, okay, well. Okay, the new lord of the castle, whoever you are, know you inherit a stronghold of the proud tradition, built by a remnant of the Knights of the True Horn. Failed to dethrone the prince. Over the years, the little band have given up. Okay. Continue to uphold the traditions and honor the memory of the great service. Well, we'll see about that. But I guess I just own a castle now. I can purchase things. Just like make my castle sweet. But I guess I just own a castle now. Oh, round 4 is up. Quick save. Up against... Oh, Osmandius. Good player as well. Matt Vuk. Usually plays Abzanoras. Is in a triple Q. Absolute mad lad. Okay, so we assume they're on Abzanoras. We're on the draw. This hand's kind of slow. Doesn't have much that we're looking for. Like, they might just spiral out of control. But we have perfect mana. We have a fight spell. And as long as we can find a Shadow's Verdict, a Bring to Light, or a... Yeah, so he is still playing this. Or a Caryatid, we're in good shape. Or Bring to Light, also. Like, we're just gonna get big quick. This is also usually like the first card, and then you play your actual threat. Legacy challenge makes sense. Matt plays a lot of Legacy, so makes sense. But the fact that you're double queuing the challenge with the showcase is like, that's some real tech right there. Real tech. So I fully expect, I'm just going to give you a heads up, because of how many queues Matt's in, we are likely the lowest of priority in them. So I would not be shocked if we're going to have some delays this round. So I would just be forewarned, as people double queue, triple queue, etc. There's downtime. Just is how it is. So we'll just be waiting. We'll have time to answer questions, anything like that. We're going to be miles ahead on clock. This is also a matchup where we're very favored as long as we find a Wrath, and if we don't find a Wrath, we are slight dogs, mainly because the targeted removal is a little tough. But we do have a lot of targeted removal, so we can also just do that. Do it that way. White, ethereal armor. Alright, would love to draw an Abrupt Decay. Abrupt Decay would be a nice one. Dreadbore would be a nice one. Caryatid would be a passable one, but even now, like, Kolaghan's Command doesn't matter. So really, we just need an Abrupt Decay or a Dreadbore here. We have 5 good draws and a lot of not good draws, but that's fine. We played this red land too, so it gives us Dreadbore as an out here. I guess both our Triomes make red, which is nice, but we have those. Post board we're gonna have. We'll walk through our sideboard strategy while we're looking around and waiting. Post board we have another Shadow's Verdict and a Knight of Autumn and 4 Fatal Push to bring in. So we have a lot of good stuff cooking. D-Sparks Crox's returns we don't need. Elspeth Conquers Death, obviously not good against a Luris deck. So we just bring in our Fatal Pushes, our Shadow's Verdict, and our Knight of Autumn. And we're going to cut like Yusharn, Slaughter Games, Teferi, probably trim 1 or more of the big mana spells too. And just be a real... We just become the hard control deck here. Like, just nothing but. Again, it's one of the reasons that I think we're very favored against a lot of these like low to the ground aggro decks. But again, like I warned, we're going to be a little bit backed up here because of the triple Q. So we'll just be chilling. I'll pull up Bailey's stream, playing I think the Legacy Challenge. 13 viewers over there. Love to see that. I'll put this over here while Matt's taking his time. player so we can see this over here. There we go. So while we're waiting, we'll just watch some Legacy from Bailey over here.
Holding strong. It's 13 viewers, guys. Thank you so much. All right. Let's pass. We've got a growth spiral. Just looking for an Uro. Yes, Carl. Just yes, that's it. You're going to wasteland us, sure.
All right, well, Carry-Two
Blow up
is
card
one of our
advantage engines,
draws
yeah.
we like.
Oh.
But again, we're
That's
still
fun.
in the need to find an answer real soon here.
You're 11 of those viewers, Carl. I didn't know you managed to multiply.
Good old Carl.
I wouldn't put it past Carl to just be 11 people.
All right, Carry-Two in. Removal spell really just puts them in the dirt. Take 5. I guess we'll block here. They could have Karametra's Blessing, and then we're just in real bad shape. So we're just gonna take this actually. That's fine. I'll play around Karametra's Blessing because we have the ability to. They put Luris into hand. Still would love to draw a removal spell here. Okay, while we're just waiting. Removal spell here buys us so much time. Even though they can just like Luris and do that, we just buy enough time that we get to put a Triome into play, remove this, then we get to play Omnath, gain 4, or just Tolsimir. But land is okay, because we would have had to shock to play Omnath otherwise. And again, we're in a bad way. We're in a pretty bad way here. Like, if they have a way to make this big enough, we have to block it. It's rough for us. We assume they have the Karametra's Blessing. They only need like 1 enchantment to make us have to chump, but this just gives us an extra draw step to removal. That's just where we're at. It's just like we're probably heavily favored if we draw removal in the next turn or two. But if we don't, we die, and then we're going to go to sideboard. Well, Fabled Passage is like the best land we could draw with Omnath, but also still we just need to find something here. Like, the dream is they just slam Luris, attack us, we take 5, and then we gain it back, and then play this Tolsimir and kill the Luris, and then we're just cruising. But I have a feeling with 5 cards in hand, only 1 is Luris, they're just gonna, yeah, okay. That's 6/6. They could have double Karametra's Blessing here. I'll die. I'll die to double Karametra's Blessing. That's fine. If they have double Karametra's Blessing, I'll die. We're never beating double Karametra's Blessing this game. Ever, 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 ever. So if they have double, I'll die. That's fine. We need this Omnath alive because it's going to regain 4 of the 6 life, and then the Fabled Passage lets us crack and get Tolsimir down for essentially free, and then we have Goligon's Command. We have a chump blocker and Carry-Two. We have so much gas here. All right, so no double Karametra's Blessing. Opponent's at 34. Casual. We're going to go back up to 7, which is better than expected. All right, no shock, no Luris. It's fine. No need to run into a Wrath even harder. Makes sense. Extinction Event, still good. Koligon's Command, still fine. So like this turn, we're probably just playing like Kolagun's command, make you pitch a card, kill your Hateful Eidolon, Toll-Smear, kill your other creature. Probably not in that order, mind you. So Extinction Event's our best draw because Odd takes out both their creatures and exiles them. Shadow's Verdict also pretty good. Hello, Zelda. She was whining to get let in Megan Lettering. Usually I stream Pioneer, Modern. Been streaming a little bit of Draft lately. Not too much. Gonna be doing a little bit of Limited just to like prep, but mostly Modern, Pioneer, and when Standard's a little more interesting, I stream a lot of Standard. Standard's my go-to format, but Standard hasn't been great lately. So, all things considered, you're almost guaranteed to see some Pioneer from me and some Modern from me. I'm going to start learning Legacy soon, so there will be some Legacy streams, though they'll probably be guest streams where some of my friends like Bailey, who's a Legacy player, Kenny, Jake, Carl, they'll be helping me out a little bit, because I want to expand my range a little so I can play more of these prelims, more of these challenges. It just requires more knowledge base. Yeah, I could gain 4 more life, but I want the mana so that I can play Toll-Smear for free and hold up Kolagon's command and still block with the Caryatid. Right, we're still going to need to chump block this for a couple more turns, even with the gaining of life. Zelda, you just came in here. Now you want to go out? Yeah, so if you fetch, it's the first land that you played on that turn, so it would still count for 4 more life. But we just need to get a little bit of this done. I guess I should have gotten a red source. Yeah, I should have gotten a red source so that I could hold up Kolagon's command and Caryatid, but I guess I don't have to if this dies. So let's... Whoop, needs to be a green source. Oh, Caburb, thank you for the follow. Love to see it. Yeah, a lot of good follows today. Really appreciate it, everybody. Stream Pioneer, Modern, some Standard, but usually stream the prelims during the week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and then one challenge day on the weekend. If I sneak in a second challenge, I'll stream it, but usually I take a day off on the weekends just to be able to relax a little. But like I said, we're in the situation here where obviously we know Osmandius is triple queuing, but including the showcase. So we are the least priority of those. Not today, but the red white command is earmarked. I'm going to play 1 to 2 of them testing this week, probably. The red white one has my interest for sure. It might even take the Toll-Smear spot. And then the green blue command is like of interest. We saw Dreams of Ashiok today played the Verse card, which is pretty good. I just think that you can't really run it main deck right now with as much 4-color soup is going around. I think that's probably not for the best. We're gonna hold this for Luris. Yeah, the best Strix card I think is the red white command for this deck. Otherwise, unfortunately, I think a lot of the Strix cards are just a little too underpowered. But I think cards we've talked about some of the Prismati cards seeing play in other decks that'll probably take off. I think the biggest problem with like any new set adding to a deck like this is just like you're already just a mishmash of all the best cards in all the best colors. So the barrier to get a card into a deck like Niv is really high. Yeah, I mean, there's not a whole lot of limited on Moto anymore, so you just get these weird spikes where cards are $1 million plus in some older formats too. I'm not sure why Prismati Command is so much, but it is how it is. Red, black one. Make him discard, get rid of this. Luris is the much... Yeah, I mean, opening a Prismari command would be great. I'd love 40 ticks, but alas, that's not the life for me. I think my sealed pool I opened the other day, I showed it to a friend, and it was terrible. Yeah, I mean, that's just the way the economy on Moto works nowadays. Is it's just a matter of there's just not a lot of limited players, so you're often stuck with overly expensive cards. All right, so opponent sacrifices their threat to keep Luris, which makes sense because Luris makes more threats. So we still need to find an answer to Luris, but we're not under real pressure right now. So we get a cycle, we got some stuff to do, but really we need to find a Bring to Light here. Shadow's Verdict would be backbreaking. Extinction Event, Niv Mizzet, another removal spell. Like, there's a lot of backbreaking cards here, and we have a lot of shots at them. Otherwise, they're just gonna sort of start grinding us out till we find like a Niv Mizzet or something to that effect. Well, we found it quickly, but play the Swamp. So these red, blue, Niv Mizzet. Looking to hopefully find a removal spell. Well, we found 3 Bring to Lights. Night of Autumn over Yasharn for sure. Okay, that's probably game. Yeah. Matthew agrees. Okay, so that game was a great example of like why I think a lot of the times we're favored in these matchups. Is just even without finding a Wrath, we were able to just survive long enough to turn the corner. Like we talked about, we're going to bring in these 6. We're going to cut Yasharn Slaughter Games to Fairy. We're going to Tolsmir is okay, but probably just worse than these particular cards. We like Fatal Push as an instant a little bit more than Dreadbore. Answers all the same things, so probably just operate like this and either bring in Dreadbore or the Tolsmir. Again, Valky might actually be a little bit slow. I think I might trim Valky and keep both of these in. We only need 1 Valky. The second Valky is a little excessive in this matchup. So again, the Bring to Lights are probably going to need to be for these cards. Night of Autumns are great. Clothis is good against Luris. Like, I like where this all is. So pretty good, all things considered. Let me just open the door for my cat. Alright, there we go. Alright, we're back for the next round. Or not next round, next game. This hand's great. We have removal, we have Carotid, we have perfect mana. We have Night of Autumn. We even have a failed passage to potentially revolt our push. All these things are pretty good. Very happy about all those. And again, just need to find some piece of interaction that works here. Is a Stone Coil Serpent? Sure. Need to get Caryatid down ASAP. Well, this has pro this, which is fine, but the fatal push, we can deal with it. So I think we're just going to take our lumps for a turn and then fatal push this. And if they don't like super suit this up, then we'll just drop a Caryatid. And when eventually they suit it up, we'll leverage that. Again, Knight also has the side benefit of, even though you can't target the Stone Coil, you can hit all the enchantments and things on it. Ooh. Unfortunately, a friend of mine did not do well in the Pioneer Showcase, but they had 2 Prismari commands, 2 of the red-white commands in their deck, so they were experimenting with a little bit of the new cards. That's interesting to see. All right, put this into play tapped. Like I said, same plan we talked about. We're either gonna shock and fatal push, or we'll play a different land and Caryatid, and we'll get the fatal push online when we do. Again, we're fine taking a little bit of a beating. There's really no reason to rush it. They're aggressive, but they have to kill us in combat, and their tricks are very limited. So everything's kind of above board. We don't have to like be afraid of anything. It's not like Burn, where we're racing an invisible clock that is the top of their deck. This is much more above board and straightforward. So we can sort of play to the board as it exists, as opposed to having to be as concerned about cards that might exist or might not. Card hoarder, please. I keep trying to give you your cards back, but you don't want it. Alright, all that glitters is a pretty big one. Kind of want them to dump more cards into it, if I'm being completely honest. Maybe that's greedy. I am greedy, though. Hey. Zelda has exited the premises. Alright. Still just going to keep with our game plan here. Lockdown Caryatid. You know, we've drawn a couple lands here. Not ideal for our draw steps, but again, having perfect mana in this deck is great, and then we have the removal already lined up for Stone Coil, so all we need to do is... Ooh, SRAM's a good one. Alright, so they're diversifying their threats. Oh, they're not actually. Never mind. I was going to say that was a good move, but they didn't. So we're just going to kill this. I mean, unfortunately, right, we'd love to kill this with Knight and then kill the SRAM, because SRAM's really strong, but not our lot. We just need to draw something powerful at some point. Kolagon's command, again, can't shatter this, so we won't try, because that would obviously not be worth it. We don't want to get Karametra's Blessing here, so we're just gonna shock red, black, 1, discard, kill SRAM. And again, Luris is going to be a pain, no doubt about it, but we will deal with that when we can deal with it, right? We can't just hold this removal for Luris the whole game. We're going to need to start getting to the part where we start turning the corner. And we have so many draws to turn the corner, and it's going to take them 2 turns to really start deploying Luris. So that's kind of our game plan. It's just like, kill SRAM. Alright, we got rid of their Thoughtseize. Kill their Stone Coil. They have a 1/1, 2 cards in hand, and we're in pretty good shape. If they load up on this warrior, we can kill an enchantment. If they just put Luris to hand, we're not in unreasonable shape. But now we're in a position where if we draw any of our big spells, we're in good shape. Bring to Light would be great. Niv would be great. Omnath would even be good, just to like start gaining that life. Obviously, Teferi's in our sideboard. Valky's not as good yet. We're still gonna need a couple turns for Valky, but yeah, Bring to Light's our best draw, as per almost always. Then, of course, Niv's also very strong. So, a couple of good draws for sure. Again, we'll cycle back to Bailey while we're waiting on our opponent. Looks like Bailey's playing against the new Witherbloom Bug Delver deck. That's another place where it looks like the Strixhaven cards are having more of an effect, is even Legacy. Because I've seen Witherbloom Apprentice did really well in the Legacy Challenge yesterday. I think he got top 4, lost to Blue Red Delver, which apparently it has a bad matchup according to the person I saw, but you know, as it goes. Well, one player having an Uro in hand and one player having an Uro on board is a very different mouthfeel. But Feel of the Dead does a really good job of not making it matter. But would really love to see Bailey hit a path or some form of removal here. Oh, looks like Osmandius is paying costs. A bigger Stone Coil Serpent. Well, that's not good for us. Yeah, the fact that this doesn't die to Niv is scary. Again, we'd love, absolutely love a Bring to Light here. Even if it just netted us a yeah, Witherbloom Apprentice did very well in Legacy. Yeah, like top forward the challenge. There's a bug Witherbloom Delver deck that seems to be doing quite well. Paired up versus the 3-0. Hate to see it, Kevin. Also hate to see this flood from us. So I think we just have to run this out to gain a little life to survive, potentially, or maybe as a 4-3. I mean, they're very likely to be able to put enchantments on this. He was on Burn. Ooh. I think Burn's a reasonable matchup. Just make this a 4-3. Nice. Good work, Kevin. We're up a game at 3-0. This game's looking sketch, though, for sure. For sure. We haven't found a Wrath that's meaningful yet, unfortunately, but that's where we're looking. It should be a good matchup. We have 3 Wraths and 4 Bring to Lights, so 7 Wraths. We're just throwing a lot of air this game, but that's okay. We have a little bit more time before we're in dire straits. So I have 5 lands that can cast any spell in my deck. So we probably top 32 breakers would be nice on modern. Probably, unless they straight kill us here, I think we take the 3. Okay, that's 4. They have a Griffspoon, because that's the scariest card here. Sentinel's Eyes is 6. Griffspoon. Nope. Okay, so I think we just take this turn, because blocking next turn saves us more life, almost assuredly. And we want to just have access to as much mana as humanly possible here. They probably have a Karametra's Blessing, is my guess. Let's get Red Source. Red Source is probably fine because we already have double black. And playing this as a 4-3 sort of forces their hand here. Shadow's Verdict would be quite good here. Even Extinction Event. Fatal Push would be fine, but again, if we assume their last card's Karametra's Blessing, it's not very good. Alright, what do we hit? Survey says I'd even take Omnath just as a gain 4 here. I guess gain 8 because we play the Fabled Passage and do what we talked about last game about gaining 4 on their turn. I mean, there's also just like this creeping clock. I mean, my opponent's playing a very fast deck, right? Where unless they get under 2 minutes with a whole game to go, it's not that much of a concern. But Night of Autumn. Our opponent came prepped for the Night of Autumn tech with these Stone Coils, I will say. So we'll go to 7. Still dies to a Griff Spoon, but we're going to chump this turn. Actually, we might just kill this Ethereal Armor. That's probably the better. Yeah, that's got to be the better move. Yeah. Don't ignore me. We're going to kill this Ethereal Armor. Make it so that this isn't actually a lethal threat unless they have exactly Griff Spoon. And if they had Griff Spoon, they would have just killed us last turn. So I'm going to put them on not Griff Spoon. Just where we got to be. So we're going to kill this Ethereal Armor. This is going to be a 4/4. I guess we still have to chump, no matter what. So, like, maybe... So we destroy this, this is still a 4/4. We're at 3. We have to chump anyway. So if we just gain the 4 life... No, we're still chumping anyway. Yeah, we're always still chumping anyway. I'm going to get rid of the Ethereal Armor. Gives us a wider array of abilities to do things. So Fatal Push is fine. Gain Life is fine. The thing is, like, we assume they have a Karametra's Blessing, so it's not like we can really take it, and any enchantment makes us have to take it anyway. If they have Stone Nothing, gaining life is better, but I'd rather put them on a reasonable not Griff Spoon card and play to that out of just removing another enchantment, being able to block, and then we have like Valky to draw, we have Caryatid to draw to buy more time, we have Bring to Light, we have Omnath to gain 8 life. They're triple queuing in Legacy and in the Showcase Challenge for Pioneer, so we knew that going in, that they were going to be a little bit slow this match, but that's okay. All right, we have a lot of live draws. Yeah, they can. Their deck's really fast, and just like suit something up and attack takes a minute or 2. Jesus. Just actually did not draw a spell that mattered. Sucks. We'll die. Alright. Oof. Alright. Game 3. Really just need to find a Shadow's Verdict. That's just what it is. Is what it is. Wait. Nice. Locking up top 8 in the Showcase is A+. Alright. Let's see what we have cooking. I agree. This hand is literally a green source away from being perfect, but we can't keep it. Okay, this hand's fine. This hand does what we need it to do. Put this away, and we just need to find some removal. We have all our mana and Caryatid, and we are once again in the hoping to draw one of our threats waiting room. I mean, if they Thoughtseize us, we're super sad just because this Omnath was all our hopes and dreams for the moment, but we have so many draws, and we're going to cycle this Triome, most likely. Yeah, we're almost assuredly going to cycle this Triome, looking for anything. Anything at all. Okay, well that doesn't really do much. Pro Black, though, is pretty good. Play this. Play this. Alright. We remain in the waiting room. If we draw a land that comes in untapped, we just cycle twice. SRAM's pretty good, but no land means they can't attack. We have both their creatures covered for the moment, but SRAM's going to be a big game. Alright, well, Night of Autumn's going to happen when it happens, so I'm just going to play this so we have 6 mana and cycle once. If we could have cycled twice here, we would have cycled twice, but I think I'm happy to develop a little bit of mana. Okay, well, Thoughtseize takes the night. That doesn't really matter. Ethereal Armor hurts a little. They drew the land. Alseed. Alright, we're going to take 4. What do we cycle into? Another Caryatid. Okay, well, that's more chump blockers. The things that cost more than 5 waiting room is filling up here. Okay, Omnath, you I like. Red, blue, white, green. Gain our 4 life. And play our Caryatid. Alright, our opponent has to get through a lot of chump blockers. All the glitters. I mean, this is a way for them to do it, just not enough time. I just want to know. I just want to know if we were ever drawing a 5-drop in our 5-drop deck. I mean, we're a Bring to Light or a Shadow's Verdict or a Extinction Event away, so we have like 7 outs. It's just we were just not finding them. But that's okay. That was like 3 games of not finding our wraths. So we'll take the dubs we can get. So we're up to 4-0. Just gonna peek in and Bailey real quick. Ooh, we're back to opening some packs. Love to see it. Alright, I will be right back. I'm going to grab a quick bite to eat. 4 matches remain, and then we'll be back for round 5. So I'll throw on some Oblivion music again, and I'll be right back. Thanks for watching, everybody. If you've been enjoying the content, throw a follow, and hopefully we can get these next couple rounds. It's a 7-rounder, so 3 more to go. Hopefully we'll be in top 8.